What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty. Join my Discord if you want to chat and share your thoughts, the link is in the description. Ninja World All My Puppets 1 MP Chapter 1 God Level Puppet System, new book for collection. Konaha 47 years. As the friction between the ninja villages continued to intensify, the entire ninja world became faintly chaotic. On the outskirts of a small town on the border between the land of fire and the land of grass, there is a small shack. It's today. But at this time in the room, a young man in a black long coat was whispering to himself. He looked like he was only about 20 years old, and his face was full of anticipation. His name is Yi Lin, and he was originally an ordinary person from Blue Star. A year ago, he came to the world of Hokage, and as a traveler, he naturally has his own cheat. What made Yi Lin speechless was that his cheat started to activate after crossing, and it would take a year to complete the activation. And as a person who is very aware of the dangers of the Hokage world, Yi Lin certainly won't walk around without certainty. You must know that in addition to the country where the 5 major ninja villages are located, the people of small countries live in dire straits. War, famine, thieves are almost everywhere, and all kinds of pervert want to destroy the world and rule the ninja world. So Yi Lin also settled down in this small town honestly, built a shack in the suburbs, and occasionally went to work in the town to earn some money to live. And today, it is exactly 1 year since he came to this world. At the same time, it is also the day when the system is officially activated. Open black lens bracket ding. System activation is complete. Close black lens bracket. Congratulations to the host for binding the God level puppet system. Close black lens bracket. Yi Lin was taken aback by the sudden voice in his mind, and then he was immediately overjoyed. As an official who has read time travel novels for many years, of course he understands what this is. The cheat of the traveler actually exists, but God level puppet system? Puppet? But after seeing the name of the system, Yi Lin was a little confused. He does know the puppet art in Hokage, the unique secret art of San Shinobi village. But he is not from San Shinobi, how could such a system appear? System, introduce your function. If you don't understand, ask, Yi Lin also said directly. Advertisement, this system is a God-level puppet system. The host extracts the puppets from the heavens and the world and controls the puppets to fight. Close black lens bracket. The system answered, and then an illusory panel appeared in front of Yi Lin. Open black lens bracket host. Yi Lin close black lens bracket open black lens bracket puppet. None close black lens bracket open black lens bracket puppet material. None close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket points. 0 close black lens bracket. Skills. Puppet summoning, puppet recovery, no CD for close range recovery, 72 hours CD time for long distance recovery. Initial puppet extraction opportunity. Once, all heavens and myriad realms? Hearing this word, Yi Lin felt sleepy. To be more specific, how to extract. Host can use points to extract puppets and props in the system. The puppets are all kinds of characters from the heavens and the world, and have the ability of the character. In addition, host can obtain the corpses and treasures of various powerhouses in this world, and extract corresponding puppet materials from them. The puppet material can be added to the appropriate puppet to strengthen the puppet, or it can be added during the lottery, which can greatly increase the probability of obtaining high-level puppets. The explanation of the system is quite detailed, and Yi Lin quickly understood the meaning. Through battle, or with precious treasures and various valuable items, he can get points. Points can be randomly drawn in the system, and puppets and various props to strengthen puppets can be drawn. But the number of puppets in the system is really a bit large. After all, from all the worlds, it can be said that there are any roles. In this case, he can extract different materials through the corpse of the corresponding powerhouse. For example, fire-type chakra ninjas can extract flame-type puppet materials, and taiju ninjas can extract physique-type materials. These materials can be used to strengthen some weak puppets, and can also be used for auxiliary extraction during the lottery, greatly improving the possibility of obtaining high-level puppets. With the extraction of fire-type materials, maybe Natsu in Fairy Tail or Ace in One Piece can be extracted? And if it's a physique-type material, maybe a puppet like Hercules can be extracted? 10 years later, many memories of things seen in previous lives have gradually been forgotten. Therefore, Yi Lin was also thinking hard at this time. But after thinking about it for a while, he did not forget to ask a key question. Advertisement, I don't know how to manipulate puppets, and can I control puppets? The puppet art in the Hokage world is a difficult ninjutsu that requires manipulating puppets through the chakra line. This belongs to the unspoken secret of San Shinobi, but Yi Lin does not. Host can control the puppet through his will, and will not be blocked by distance or any means. The system's reply was still simple and clear, and the content of it undoubtedly surprised Yi Lin. He also understood that the puppet technique of the system had nothing to do with San Shinobi's puppet. I have an initial draw right, open black lens bracket yes close black lens bracket, I want to extract my initial puppet. Host chooses to use the initial extraction opportunity to extract puppets, and is currently extracting. With the system's response, illusory silhouettes began to appear in front of Yi Lin's eyes. Those are countless characters from the heavens and the world. A tall man with a Bible in his hand, that is the big pirate, Bao Kun, bear from the pirate world. The flying dragon with 2 wings and a red body, that is Ignir, the king of fire dragons from the fairy tale world. The bald dead fisheye, the man in the yellow tights, is the bald cape from the world of One Punch. A chubby little boy wearing earthy clothes, that is a fat tiger from the world of robot cats. What the hell is a fat tiger? Looking at the constantly flickering silhouette, Yi Lin's heart was quite nervous while complaining frantically. He had waited 10 years for this draw. Open black lens bracket, end of random drawing, close black lens bracket. And it was at this moment that the sound of the system sounded again. Then, a figure suddenly appeared in front of Yi Lin at the next moment. It was a tall, handsome man with long hair. He was wearing a white feather weave and a jet black robe, with the word 6 on the back of the feather weave. The long hair was tied into bundles, each with a delicate white hoop. On the man's waist is a delicate sword. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to the host. Get the puppet, Byakuya Kuchiki, Chapter 2. The Puppet, Byakuya Kuchiki, new book for collection. At the moment when the puppet like a real person appeared, information about the puppet also appeared in Yi Lin's mind. Open black lens bracket Byakuya Kuchiki close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket S-class puppet close black lens bracket. Controlling proficiency, 0%. Open black lens bracket Shinigami series puppet Gote 13 captain of the 6th division close black lens bracket. Skills. White hits, slash, Kido, Shunpo, Captain Ryotsu, Shikai, Senbonzakura. Special skills. Bankai, Senbonzakura Kageyoshi, 30% manipulation proficiency unlocked, final scene. White Emperor Sword, 50% manipulation proficiency unlocked, profound truth. 1 by 1000 blades flower, 100% manipulation proficiency unlocked. Puppet charge. 100%, it can be automatically recovered after consumption, but it takes time. Puppet recycling. Available, recycle puppet regardless of distance, there is a 24-hour CD. It's really that Byakuya Kuchiki, although it has long been known from the system that the puppets extracted from the system come from the heavens and the world. But when he really saw it at this time, it still gave Yi Lin a strange feeling. However, the surprise soon disappeared, replaced by excitement and excitement. Yi Lin was very satisfied with the first puppet he had drawn. Byakuya Kuchiki, one of the captain-level Shinigami of Gote 13 in the Shinigami world. There is no doubt about his strength, and it can be seen from his rating. Yi Lin knew that the puppets in the system were divided into 9 levels. D, C, B, A, S, SS, SSS, and X according to their strengths. D-rank golems are relatively weak in combat, and are probably ordinary genins in the Hokage world. The combat power of C-rank puppets is Chunin, B-rank is Jonin, and A-rank is Elite Jonin. As for the fighting ability of the S-class puppet, it has reached the cage level of the Hokage world. Further up the SS level, Yi Lin estimated that it was the level of Madara and Senju Hashirama. Further up the SSS level, it is 6 paths Madara, the level of Sage of 6 paths. Even the final boss, Otsutsugi Kagaya, should belong to the very top of this level. As for the final X level, it represents, beyond the world frame, that is, an invincible existence in this world. Of course, this division is only a rough division. In fact, due to the differences in their respective worlds, the strength of the puppets will fluctuate up and down. Each puppet has a corresponding puppet proficiency, which will increase as Yi Lin continues to use the puppet. With the improvement of the control proficiency, the Byakuya Kuchiki puppet can also unlock other skills and become stronger. With this puppet, the problem of self-protection is no longer a big deal. Next, Yi Lin's mind turned quickly, and at this time he had already started to think about his next course of action. There is no doubt that he now needs a lot of strong corpses to obtain materials. Advertisement also, a lot of battles are required to increase puppet proficiency and points. He must quickly increase the number of his puppets, the more the better. The third ninja war is an opportunity. A sharp light flashed in Yi Lin's eyes. He has been living in this world for a year, and naturally he has learned some information about the ninja world consciously or unintentionally. For example, just a year ago, the third cage of San Shinobi village mysteriously disappeared. After confirming the news, Cloud Shinobi, who has always advocated military expansion, preemptively launched the war against the Land of Wind. Unexpectedly, although third cage has disappeared, the San Shinobi are extremely tenaciously holding the line of defense under the leadership of the San Shinobi village powerhouse, Luosha, who temporarily replaced cage. So far, the war between the two countries has been going on for a long time. For the public, this matter is naturally not a secret. However, Yi Lin was very clear. This war is the direct trigger for the third ninja war in the future. If I remember correctly, Cloud Shinobi lost this war. Because the supply line was too long, they eventually had to retreat, and when they retreated, they would clash with the Konaha Shinobi. Yi Lin tried hard to remember. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Rock Shinobi village in the Land of Earth will take this opportunity to send a ninja army of 10,000 people to attack Cloud Shinobi from the rear. And Third Raikage, who is known as the strongest body in the ninja world, will also die in this raid to cover Cloud Shinobi's retreat. Thinking of this, Yi Lin was moved. Third Raikage is a fierce man who can use the flesh and blood of human beings to fight with tailed beasts. If he can get the corpse of the other party, then 9 times out of 10 you can get advanced puppet materials. In the short period of time the system was successfully activated, his vision had changed. Before, he had no self-protection ability, so he was naturally very worried about the Third Ninja War that covered the entire ninja world. But now, he has regarded the Third Ninja War as an opportunity. This upcoming raid is his first chance. In fact, everything was as Yi Lin expected. Only less than a month after Yi Lin activated the system, the Cloud Shinobi began a massive retreat from the Land of Winds. And with the retreat of Cloud Shinobi, a large number of Konaha Shinobi also set out from Konaha and came to the border of the Fire Country for garrison. Subsequently, the two sides had a violent conflict at the Totoro Mountain on the border. During this conflict, Konaha's elite Jonin Namikaze Minato rose to fame by taking on Cloud Shinobi Village 4th Raikage I and his partner Jinchuriki Killer B alone. So under the superhuman performance of Namikaze Minato, although the Konaha side tends to be inferior in number, it has the advantage in the conflict. And Cloud Shinobi, who had already suffered losses in the Land of Wind, was almost in an unsustainable situation. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Rock Shinobi Village, which had been watching for a long time, dispatched 10,000 ninja troops from the rear to launch a surprise attack on Cloud Shinobi, who had already been left behind. Advertisement. Battle of Rock Shinobi and Cloud Shinobi. On the battlefield, the numbers on both sides of the battle are completely incomparable. On one side of the battlefield is a mighty crowd of nearly 10,000 people. Each of them is wearing Rock Shinobi's unique ninja costume and forehead protector, symbolizing their Rock Shinobi Village ninja identity. On the other side of the battlefield, there is only one person. It was an old man with white hair and beard, and kinky muscles all over his body. The word, Rei, tattooed on his right shoulder and the wound on his right chest symbolize his identity. Third Raikage, I. At this time, perhaps the strongest Raikage in the history of Cloud Shinobi Village is still standing in front of the army of 10,000 people. But there was no breath on him. After 3 days and 3 nights fighting 10,000 enemies, the already very old Raikage died of exhaustion. This monster is finally dead. At this time, the leader of the Rock Shinobi army, Rock Shinobi Village elite Jonin East Deadman sighed. Looking at the third Raikage who was still standing after his death, the horror and helplessness in his eyes had not dissipated. It's been too long, and it's too late for Lord Tsuchikage's plan. As an elite Jonin of Rock Shinobi Village, Toshio didn't expect this to happen at all. Originally, according to Tsuchikage Onoji's plan, Rock Shinobi attacked Cloud Shinobi from the rear, and should be able to completely wipe out the retreating troops of Cloud Shinobi in one fell swoop. But he never expected that Rock Shinobi's army of 10,000 people would be intercepted by Third Raikage alone for 3 days and 3 nights. In the past 3 days, the Cloud Shinobi have returned to the territory of the Land of Thunder. In this case, the raid plan obviously had to fall through. And the dead person of the East knows better, because Third Raikage has already given his own Raikage position to his son very early. His death will not throw Cloud Shinobi into chaos, but will only increase the hatred in the hearts of Cloud Shinobi. So there is no doubt that what Rock Shinobi will face next must be Cloud Shinobi's crazy revenge. It's troublesome. In this case, the East dead can only sigh like this. Then, he pointed to Third Raikage's body not far away. Take his body back to Lord Tsuchikage. Yes. Lord East dead, and several Rock Shinobi around him heard the order of the East dead and stepped forward to tie up Third Raikage's body and take it away. But it was when they approached Third Raikage's body. The 33 of Hado, Kang Huo Pang. With a clear and calm chanting, the dazzling blue flames cut through the already devastated ground of the battlefield. Thank you for reading this story at fictionzone.net. Yo Chapter 3 One Person Fights One Army, new book for collection. Boom. The huge explosion, accompanied by the hot breath of the flames, evaporated the stones on the ground, and a huge amount of smoke and dust rose up. What? The few Rock Shinobi who came forward were swallowed up by the blue flames before they could even let out their screams. In the face of this sudden change, the Rock Shinobi have not even reacted. The next moment, a huge coercion swept the entire battlefield. Buzz. There is some kind of coercion that is invisible but real, like a mountain pressing down on the Rock Shinobi. So under this huge pressure at this time, they felt that their bodies began to become heavy, and it was even difficult to breathe. And even Dong Shuren, as the leading Jonin of Rock Shinobi Village, felt the stiffness and heaviness of his body at this time. What? What kind of ninjutsu? He didn't even know the ninjutsu the other party was using, whether it was the blue fire style or this weird coercion. Therefore, the dead man turned his head solemnly and looked in a certain direction. I saw a person standing there. The pure white haori fluttered in the wind, and the man with the dagger hanging from his waist slowly walked towards the Rock Shinobi. Despair. 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 His steps are not fast, but every footstep seems to be stepping on the hearts of Rock Shinobi. When he finally came to a position less than 100 meters away from the Rock Shinobi, many of the Rock Shinobi fell directly to the ground. Gote 13, Captain of Division 6, Byakuya Kuchiki. And until now, everyone heard his voice. Byakuya Kuchiki? This name was unfamiliar to the dead man in the past, but it was a name that could be carved into his soul for him now. However, Looking at the noble-like temperament of the other party and the arrogance revealed in his bones, Dong Dead inexplicably felt that what the other party said should be true. Gote 13? Is it the name of an organization? East Deadman's heart was wildly guessing. But it was when the East Dead was brainstorming that he didn't notice the teasing in the eyes of the man who called himself Byakuya Kuchiki. Yes, after remembering, go back and tell 3rd Tsuchikage to go. Yi Lin, who was controlling Byakuya Kuchiki's puppet, wanted to laugh out loud in his heart. After getting the news from Hong, Yi Lin sent the Byakuya Kuchiki puppet directly and waited early for the raid nearby. At this time, seeing 3rd Raikage die, Yi Lin naturally manipulated Byakuya Kuchiki's puppet to snatch 3rd Raikage's body. Advertisement on the other hand, Yi Lin had already had some ideas during this period of time. He knew that in the future, he must continue to snatch the corpses of the strong or rare treasures in exchange for new puppets. Only in this way can he become stronger quickly, but at the same time, this matter naturally cannot be exposed. So Yi Lin naturally thought of a way, and that's what he's doing now. He wants to create a lot of powers in the ninja world that don't exist, and throw all the pots that snatch corpses and treasures away. To put it simply, I'll be the mastermind behind the ninja world. Thinking of this, Yi Lin manipulated the Byakuya Kuchiki puppet to pull out Zanpakuto from his waist. Bah! The blade made a strong sonic boom in the air, and the blade shone dazzlingly silver in the sunlight. My mission is to retrieve 3rd Raikage's body. His voice was cold and calm, as if he was telling an indisputable fact. After hearing Yi Lin's words, Dong Dead's eyes turned cold. Arrogant guy. He didn't care what the so-called Gote 13 was. He only knew that he was leading the army of 10,000 people from Rock Shinobi. Chakra didn't recover even though he was wounded in the battle with 3rd Raikage. However, the other party is only one person. Who does he think he is? A monster like 3rd Raikage? Ready to fight. So the East Dead didn't say much, just calmly gave orders to the ninjas beside him. The other side. Alright, just to test the strength of the puppet. Yi Lin, who had already guessed that the other party must have this reaction, was not surprised, but whispered. Then as his mind moved, Byakuya Kuchiki's figure moved. Buzz. Rock Shinobi, who was standing at the front of the line, was intently watching Byakuya Kuchiki's move. But the next moment, he found that the other party's figure disappeared from his field of vision in an instant. Disappeared? So he instinctively froze, laugh? Advertisement. A crisp sound reached his ears. Then, he found that the ninja sword in his hand was neatly divided into 2 parts in the next moment. This is. And before the doubts in his heart even rose, he felt that his vision suddenly began to turn around in the next moment. Boom. And he didn't understand what happened until he saw the headless body lying on the ground. It was not only the ninja sword that was cut in 2, but also his own head. Be careful, this guy. Ah, Rock Shinobi's exclamations didn't even have time to say. Byakuya Kuchiki's figure had already entered Rock Shinobi's team. So fast. Body flicker technique. And the East Dead who saw this scene also shrank his pupils. Almost without any consideration, the East Dead people defaulted shunpo to the body flicker technique. After all, from the outside, there is almost no difference between the two sides. However, it is precisely because of this that the East Dead man is not panicked even though he is horrified at this time. Is this guy crazy? Looking at Byakuya Kuchiki, who was constantly flashing in the crowd, Dong Dead's heart was cold. As a first-class elite jonin at Rock Shinobi Village, Dong Dead will naturally also body flicker technique. So he also knows that the more advanced the body flicker technique consumes, the greater the chakra. And the shunpo used by Byakuya Kuchiki is undoubtedly a very high-level body flicker technique in his opinion. With the body flicker technique like this, I'll see how long you can last. The East Dead sneered, but soon, he couldn't laugh anymore. Because Byakuya Kuchiki's speed goes by without any tendency to slow down or get tired at all. His figure flickered like a ghost among the Rock Shinobi, and the siege of the Rock Shinobi was unable to capture his position. But with every flicker, he takes the life of at least one Rock Shinobi. The terrifying picture even made Dong Dead have a very strange association. It was the man who was besieged by the 10,000-strong Rock Shinobi army, but now it looks like a butcher slaughtering 10,000 pigs with ease. And what makes Dong Shuren feel cold in his heart is that Byakuya Kuchiki's almost artistic swordsmanship. Either cut horizontally or cut vertically or pull up the knife with a single flick. With every swing, the speed and strength of the knife are perfect. With every swing, there will be a burst of blood, and a Rock Shinobi will collapse screaming. Blood, sword light, screams, death. Everything is so elegant and natural, like a killing dance. Chapter 4 Scatter, Senbonzakura, new book for collection. This guy. Looking at Byakuya Kuchiki, who was reaping his life like Shinigami among the Rock Shinobi, a chill surged in Toshado's heart. It was only now that he finally felt something was wrong. Also a cage-level monster. How many monsters can achieve such a level with one enemy and omnipotence? And such people, in most of the ninja world, bear the name of Shadow. This kind of guy, there wasn't any information about him in the village before? The dead man's heart is awe-inspiring, and he suspects the intelligence network of Rock Shinobi Village for the first time. What kind of organization is that Gote 13? At the same time that he became more and more afraid of the organization called Gode 13 mentioned by Byakuya Kuchiki, Toshido also made a decisive judgment. Go back, don't fight him in close quarters. Even an idiot could see that continuing this fight with Byakuya Kuchiki was no different than courting death. The rock shinobi couldn't catch each other's movements at all, they were just slaughtered unilaterally. In just a short fight, there are already a large number of rock shinobi corpses on the battlefield. So the East Dead also decisively ordered the rock shinobi to retreat. He himself immediately began to seal, and then he slapped his hand against the ground. Earth-style Yellow Spring Marsh. As his words fell, the ground where Byakuya Kuchiki was standing instantly turned into a huge swamp. And Byakuya Kuchiki, who continued to use Shunpo, was instantly in shape. At the same time, the East Dead did not stop, he reached out and patted the ground again, and a powerful chakra burst out from his body. Earth-style Tempo Guy. But after a while, a huge rock cover fell from the sky and covered Byakuya Kuchiki's figure. As expected of the East Dead Lord, I caught him. Go. Kill him. And the rock shinobi present are almost all characters who have been on the battlefield for a long time, and the reaction after seeing this is also extremely fast. Ninja Windmill Technique. Earth-style Earth Dragon Bullet. Earth-style Tulong Gun. Ninja Shuriken Shadow Clone. It's quite a shocking sight to see so many ninjas using ninjutsu at the same time. Countless shuriken, jet black stone spears protruding from the ground, and stones spewed from the huge dragon head, all headed towards the soil cover where Byakuya Kuchiki was. Boom. So the next moment, a huge explosion and thick smoke rose up. Successful. The rock shinobi were overjoyed after seeing that Byakuya Kuchiki didn't dodge in any way. And their cheers were destined that no one of them could hear the whispering. Scatter, Senbonzakura. With the whispering, all rock shinobi saw an incredible scene. I saw that the rich smoke and dust generated by the explosion dissipated after a while. Advertisement, and after the smoke cleared, sakura flowers filled the sky. Countless beautiful sakura flower petals, fluttering with the wind. They dance around Byakuya Kuchiki, as beautiful and extraordinary as a fairy tale. But soon, this beauty turned into gloom, because rock shinobi saw the debris on the ground. Whether it was their earth-style ninjutsu or the shuriken they threw, they were easily cut to scraps after touching those beautiful sakura flowers. The countless sakura flowers that looked beautiful and fragile turned out to be like a barrier of absolute defense, turning all attacks to naught. Is this illusion? And naturally, the same thought popped into the hearts of all rock shinobi. In their eyes, this fairy tale-like picture is obviously a scene of standard illusion. Even the East Dead, the first reaction in the heart at this time is the same. He even subconsciously began to think about when he fell into the other party's illusion. And even when the rock shinobi were stunned, Byakuya Kuchiki also extended his hand to them. Buzz. And as he stretched out his hand, the countless sakura flower petals flew towards the rock shinobi with the movement of his hand. No. Run away. After seeing this scene, the East Dead man immediately froze in his heart, and instinctively noticed that it was not good. But obviously, his reminder is already a little late. Laugh. Countless sakura flower petals fluttered in the wind, and when they touched the bodies of rock shinobi, blood splattered along with the sakura flower. However, in the blink of an eye, the countless sakura rains washed over the ninjas in the rock shinobi army like a tide, causing the rock shinobi army to suffer unprecedented losses. Sure enough, the liberation of Senbonzakura is the magic skill of clearing small soldiers. Looking at the rock shinobi army who suffered heavy losses amid the flying sakura flowers, Yi Lin was also very sad in his heart. Senbonzakura, Zanpakuto of Byakuya Kuchiki. After liberation, it can turn into thousands of sakura flower blades to slay the enemy, and at the same time has a strong defensive ability. Although these sakura flower petals have the problem of a little lack of individual attack power when facing the strong. But under the present circumstances, the liberation of Zanpakuto is undoubtedly horribly destructive. The strength of the puppet is really amazing. Undoubtedly, Yi Lin was quite satisfied with the results of this puppet test targeting rock shinobi. The combat power of the S-rank puppet is really powerful. Chopping, Shunpo, Kido, and Ryotsu are a perfect combination. In addition, the puppet is not affected by illusion, and has almost no weaknesses. And this is just the beginning, there are even Bankai and more skills waiting for him to unlock in the follow-up. The current Byakuya Kuchiki puppet, even in the cage level, is definitely a strong one. If it is fully unlocked, the strength will be greatly improved. However, the only drawback is that use is affected by charging. Seeing that the energy on the puppet's status bar had dropped from 100% to 80%, Yi Lin secretly shook his head. This consumption rate cannot be said to be fast, but it is definitely not slow. At least if Yi Lin wanted to fight like third rakeage for 3 days and 3 nights, he might not be able to withstand it in terms of energy. Advertisement. If it can solve the energy problem, it's really invincible. Just as he sighed like this, another prompt came from the system. Host can solve the problem of puppet energy by connecting to an external energy source. External energy? After hearing the system's response, Yi Lin was stunned. Yes, anything that contains a lot of energy can be used as an external energy source to provide energy to the puppet. Until the external energy is exhausted, the puppet itself will not consume energy. Yi Lin understood as soon as he heard it, Isn't this just adding a power bank to the puppet? A lot of energy stuff. Whispering in a low voice, Yi Lin was already on his mind. But before that, the test is almost done, it's time to end it. Looking at the severely damaged rock shinobi, Yi Lin thought to himself. He doesn't have any grudges against rock shinobi, nor does he have any friendship with cloud shinobi. So of course he didn't have the intention to kill all these people. In fact, even if he wanted to, it wasn't that easy to do. He's not like Uchiha Madara, who can summon a meteorite to destroy the ninja army with one blow. If Yi Lin controls the Byakuya Kuchiki puppet, he really needs to control the Senbonzakura one by one to kill the entire rock shinobi army of 10,000 people. Even if he succeeds in the end, the Byakuya Kuchiki puppet's energy is estimated to be 0 on the spot. Yi Lin is of course not that boring, so, boom. On the battlefield, Byakuya Kuchiki raised his hand. Countless sakura flower petals form a huge wall on the battlefield, completely blocking the rock shinobi out. Then, he also directly came to Third Raikage's corpse with Shunpo. Then, I took the spoils. After hearing Byakuya Kuchiki's flat voice, the East Dead Man's eyes were split. Don't think about it, Earth-style giant Tulong gun. After he made the seal, he raised a huge rock spear from the ground and flew towards Byakuya Kuchiki, trying to interrupt his movement. But when the stone spear flew out, the East Dead was shocked to see a deep black hole suddenly appearing behind Byakuya Kuchiki. At the same time, the eyes of the countless flying sakura flowers also turned into Zanpakuto and fell into the hands of Byakuya Kuchiki. Then, Byakuya Kuchiki's figure disappeared into the black hole. Afterwards, the black hole closed, and no trace of it was seen again. Time and Space Ninjutsu. B*****************. D. Looking at the devastated battlefield and the heavy losses of rock shinobi, the East Dead slammed into the ground with a savage punch. In his heart, at this time, there was also a very strong sense of frustration and powerlessness. Go-Day 13, what the hell is this organization? Chapter 5 Rock Shinobi's Reaction, The Coming War, New Book for Collection. Rock Shinobi Village, Tsuchikage Office. Looking at the East Dead Man who was half kneeling on the ground, Third Tsuchikage Tianping Onobi's expression was a little gloomy. No way, it is really hard to accept the news brought back by the dead. The plan to stop Cloud Shinobi was unsuccessful, and despite killing Third Raikage, Cloud Shinobi managed to return to the Land of Thunder. Even on top of that, Rock Shinobi's army suffered heavy losses. Especially in the end, even Third Raikage's body was snatched away. Byakuya Kuchiki, Go-Day 13. Recalling the information provided by the East Dead, Onobi's brows furrowed. He undoubtedly has complete trust in the East Dead, otherwise it would be impossible for the East Dead to be in charge of the army of Rock Shinobi. He knows the strength and ability of the East Dead, and there is no doubt that they are the best among the Jonin. But there is no doubt that the news this time really made Onobi a little hard to believe. Suddenly, a mysterious organization called Go-Day 13 appeared, and a strong man called himself the captain of the 6th Division. Never seen blue fire style. Bizarre and powerful, the coercion that can make people lose their combat effectiveness. Otherworldly, a swordsmanship that rivals even Konaha's White Fang. A sword that can be transformed into countless sakura flowers. Compared with these things, Onogi didn't even have time to think about the fact that someone used time and space ninjutsu to take the opponent away. Is what you said true? So it is rare for Onogi to ask such a stupid question. Definitely. Of course, the East Dead also knew that what he said was indeed a bit outrageous, so he also said directly, if Lord Tsuchikage doesn't believe it, other people present can testify. That guy is a monster no less than Third Raikage. When he said this, Onogi was also silent. After a while, he took over the conversation, and this kind of person is just a captain of Go-Day 13. After saying these words, the East Dead also nodded silently. They all understood what it meant. Go-Day 13, you can tell what it means from the name. The guy named Byakuya Kuchiki who appeared this time is just one of the captains. In other words, there are as many as 13 strong men in that organization. And don't forget, he's just the captain of the 6th Division. Advertisement Onogi added, and then shook his head. Captain of the 6th Division, there are two explanations for this. The first explanation is that Go-Day 13 is the team number divided by strength, so the good news is that there are 7 captains behind Byakuya Kuchiki who are not as strong as him. But if that's the explanation, then there's the bad news that before Byakuya Kuchiki, there were at least 5 people who were stronger than him. As for the second explanation, this squad number has no practical significance, but is related to functions. In this case, it is not good news, because if it has nothing to do with strength, it means that every captain representing the 13 teams has at least a strength similar to Byakuya Kuchiki in their respective fields. Moreover, Onogi has a big problem in his heart. Go-Day 13, Godu. What exactly is the courtyard they guard? Could it be that an organization with such power is just to protect a certain existence? This kind of behemoth was hidden in the ninja world before. I have no news about Rock Shinobi. Rao is that Onogi has experienced a lot of things, but at this time, his heart is also extremely heavy. Lord Tsuchikage, we are now. Try to release the information of this organization, but there is no need to investigate. The East Dead had already thought about it. He must find a way to find the clues of Go-Day 13 to make up for it. But at this time, Onogi's words made him stunned. Lord Tsuchikage, you mean? Even if we know of their existence, we don't have time to deal with them. Even the rock-solid Onogi who inherited the will of the earth couldn't help but sigh at this moment. As he said, Rock Shinobi wouldn't have any time to investigate them, even if the other party swaggered in front of them and took the third raikage. Because war is coming, Inomu said softly, and the dead man also understood the meaning instantly. Yes, war is coming. Cloud Shinobi is already at war with Sand Shinobi, and both Wind and Thunder have joined the war sequence. With the sneak attack of Rock Shinobi this time, and the previous conflict between Cloud Shinobi and Konaha, it also shows that the Land of Fire and the Land of Soil are also involved in Uzumaki. Cloud Shinobi are bound to take revenge against Konaha, and Rock Shinobi, and Sand Shinobi, who was the first to be bullied, will certainly not stay out of it. And when these four major ninja villages were dragged into the quagmire of war, there was no doubt. Advertisement: the Third Ninja War is about to begin. When Onogi thought of Third Kage's mysterious disappearance, and then thought of Third Raikage's body being taken away this time, all kinds of conspiracy theories surged wildly in his heart. He even wondered if this Godei 13 was behind it for some purpose. It appears at a time like this, maybe it's Godei 13's intention, but I don't know. If the old man's guess is true, then this Godei 13 is almost as scary as the old Uchiha Madara. Of course, Yi Lin wouldn't know the crazy brain supplement in Oyumu's heart. Because at this time, he is immersed in the joy of harvest. Congratulations to host for defeating the enemy and earning 2,500 points. After recalling Byakuya Kuchiki via remote, he got this information from the system. 2,500 points, how is this determined? Yi Lin slapped his mouth and regretted it a little. He now knows that it takes 500 points to draw a lottery in the system. But what he wasn't sure about was how the system judged points. It stands to reason that this time he fought a round against Rock Shinobi's 10,000-strong ninja army and won a big victory. And the ninja army of 10,000 people, even a monster like Third Raikage, was consumed to death. But in this case, he only got 2,500 points. In comparison, this number is really not much. Answering the question of host, the system points will only be counted for enemies who are within 2 levels of the puppet, and enemies that are too weak will not be awarded points. And the system responded. It looks like it's about quality rather than quantity. Yi Lin was a little regretful, and probably understood the meaning of the system. Byakuya Kuchiki is an S-rank puppet, so the points given by the system this time only count ninjas of B rank and above in Rock Shinobi. And B level and above, in this world, it is probably Jonin or above. It is precisely because of this that Yi Lin did not get a lot of points in the end. However, Yi Lin didn't care about this. Because compared to the points, the main purpose of his action this time has been achieved. He looked at the body of Third Raikage next to Byakuya Kuchiki not far away. System: start extracting material from Third Raikage. Asterisk. Chapter 6 S-Class Puppet, Enel. New book for collection. Start to extract puppet material. As Yi Lin's words fell, Third Raikage's body slowly floated up, and bursts of strange light began to appear. Afterwards, a blue ball of light slowly floated out of Third Raikage's body. Congratulations to host, get the S-rank puppet material, Thunderbolt Enhancement. As the ball of light was extracted, Yi Lin's ears also heard a system prompt. It really is this. And I have to say, Yi Lin actually guessed the result long ago. There's a lot of strength in Third Raikage. But when it comes to the trump card that really brought him great fame, there is only one. That is his Master of Lightning Ninjutsu, and the Lightning-style Chakra mode, that was born from it. This special Lightning-style Chakra mode activates his body, giving him lightning speed and a tempered body. Therefore, the material extracted from Third Raikage is also the S-rank puppet material, Thunderbolt Enhancement. Boom. After extracting the material, Third Raikage's body also slowly fell to the ground. But Yi Lin didn't have time to pay attention to it, but continued. System, I want to use the material, Lightning Enhancement, to assist in the lottery. Yi Lin did not hesitate. S-rank puppet materials are precious, but Byakuya Kuchiki obviously can't use the effect of Thunderbolt Enhancement. On the contrary, if you use this S-class material to assist extraction, should be able to draw a very powerful puppet. While Yi Lin was excited, the sound of the system sounded in his ears. Host uses the S-level material, Thunderbolt Enhancement, for auxiliary extraction. The material has been consumed. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Host has 2,500 points remaining. 500 points have been consumed. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Extracting in progress. Close black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, get the S-class puppet, Enel. Hearing the name, Yi Lin's eyes lit up. It's done. Another S-class puppet. Advertisement. He hurriedly raised his hand gently, and familiarly received this new puppet from the system. Then a tall figure appeared beside Byakuya Kuchiki. He wears a white headscarf, has extremely long earlobes, and behind his back is a drum that is engraved with jade on all sides. And with his appearance, there seems to be a faint arc of electric arc flickering in the air. Open black lens bracket. Enel. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. S-class puppet. Close black lens bracket. Controlling proficiency. 0%. Open black lens bracket pirate series puppet close black lens bracket. Skills. Logia devil fruit thunder fruit, hard net advanced observation hockey. Special skill. Fruit awakening 100% control proficiency can be unlocked. Defect. Fear of sea water. Puppet charge. 100%. Puppet recovery. Available. It's really him. After seeing the information about the puppet, Yi Lin was also surprised. Enel, a character in the world of pirates. On Sky Island, where Enel is, he is called a god. In fact, his devil fruit ability is indeed very different from that of god. Logia thunder fruit. It can turn the body into a thunder, freely elementalize and control the lightning of hundreds of millions of volts. The destructive power it can cause can be called a moving natural disaster. Even among the many devil fruits in the pirate world, this is one of the abilities that can be called invincible. In terms of sheer destructive power, Enel is definitely above Byakuya Kuchiki. And most importantly, Enel's ability is of extraordinary significance to Yi Lin at this time. Yi Lin is very aware of his current strengths and weaknesses. The advantage is undoubtedly that the powerful puppets he has are destined to continue to increase. The puppets are not afraid of death and can continue to become stronger, which can be said to be the most perfect fighting tool. But his disadvantage is also obvious, that is his body. Advertisement. At least until now, he himself still has no fighting ability. In this case, if he has a puppet by his side, it will be fine, and self-protection is definitely enough. But once someone finds out about this problem and spy or plays sneak attack, then Yi Lin will be very troublesome. But one of Enel's abilities can perfectly solve this problem. That's the hard net. This ability is essentially the observation hockey that the pirate world can perceive the external environment, but after Enel's electromagnetic ability is strengthened, it has become an extremely exaggerated detection skill. Try it. Thinking of this, Yi Lin also began to try to control the Enel puppet and slowly closed his eyes. Almost for a moment, Yi Lin, who had mastered the way of using Shinwang, started to expand Shinwang. As a result, he felt that his vision began to broaden. 100 meters, 200 meters, 300 meters. The field of vision continues to expand until the entire town where Yi Lin is located and the surrounding forest are completely enclosed. And within this range, Yi Lin can clearly perceive any word or even any action spoken by anyone in the town. This range, this precision, to pervert. Yi Lin couldn't help but be amazed. Even if it is the Yuhu Zizi technique that Nagato will use in the future, it can't compare to this. There is no form or possibility of being perceived, as long as it enters the range of perception, it must be perceived. And just keep observing, if you don't use it for fighting, you hardly need to consume any energy, and it can be maintained for a long time. Yi Lin was overjoyed in his heart. With Shinwang's investigation, as long as the Enel puppet is around, his safety will hardly be threatened. Any enemy is detected as soon as they come within range, and even communication is monitored. In this case, his self-protection ability can be said to be completely improved to a whole new level. The combat capability is extremely strong, and it also has the ability to monitor this range. Apart from the weakness of Devil Fruit's fear of water, it can almost be said to be a perfect puppet. Yi Lin secretly felt a little regret in his heart. But then, he also quickly cleared up his mood. Instead, his eyes continued to glance at his system bar. System, there are still 2,000 points left, use them all. Asterisk. Chapter 7 Puppet Defect, Grass Ninja Village. New book for collection. System, use the remaining 2,000 points. Yi Lin was also very curious. In the absence of high-level material assistance, what is the probability that the system will draw good things in the lottery? It happened that he still had 2,000 points left this time, so he simply used it to do some experiments together. The first draw, in the process of drawing. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the D-level puppet, Monster Worm. The second draw, in the process of drawing. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the D-level item, Puppet Transformation, Hairstyle. The third draw, in the process of drawing. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the D-level item, Puppet Transformation, Gender. What is this special meow drawing? And as soon as the results of the first 3 draws came out, Yi Lin felt like he was going to vomit. He first took a look at the first puppet named, Weird Bug, which was as weird as a human spine with a few spikes. And when he saw the introduction, Yi Lin was speechless. Open black lens bracket Weird Bugs close black lens bracket. D-level puppet, Giant Series puppet, unfinished version. Skill. None. Open black lens bracket special skills. Unavailable close black lens bracket. Puppet charge. 100%. Puppet recovery. Available. What the hell is this, isn't this just trash? Yi Lin was a little speechless. He hadn't seen the giant work, but had only heard of it. But no matter what, this thing is not a powerful thing at first glance. No skills, level is the most rubbish D level. Not even the only special skill can be used. Moreover, the special skills of AD rank puppet, Yi Lin didn't think it would be so powerful. As for the 2 rewards drawn later, it is even more outrageous. As the name suggests, the following 2 props mean simply transforming the puppet. The first of them can change the puppet's hairstyle and hair color, and the second can change the gender. Am I a hair salon teacher Tony or a gender reassignment surgeon? Why is this thing counted as a prop? Yi Lin didn't know where to start complaining. The fourth lottery draw is in progress. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the special item, Puppet Defect Modification Device. Advertisement. However, when Yi Lin was frantically BBing, the last draw made him suddenly come back to his senses. Defects. Modifications. Looking at the golden box that suddenly appeared in front of him, Yi Lin instinctively noticed something unusual. Open black lens bracket Puppet Defect Modification Device close black lens bracket. Special props, limited to 3 times. Open black lens bracket remaining times, 3/3 close black lens bracket. Effect. It can repair the defects carried by the puppet itself. Fix bugs. Yi Lin's eyes lit up. Although the introduction is simple, it is definitely a good thing. For example, Yi Lin now has a puppet with obvious flaws on hand. System. Can Devil Fruit's water defect be repaired? The Enel puppet I just got, Thunder Fruit, is extremely powerful, but the problem of being afraid of water is undoubtedly a big disadvantage. Open black lens bracket can be repaired close black lens bracket. Then use the props immediately and fix the flaws. The puppet is being repaired using the prop, Puppet Defect Modification Device. The repair is completed, the puppet Enel defect has been fixed. The remaining number of uses of the prop's Puppet Defect Modification Device, 2/3. A light flashed on the golden box and merged into the Enel puppet. After a while, the only weakness in Enel's status bar was finally fully made up. Judging from the situation of Enel, I am afraid that the puppets produced by Pirate World have the defect of being afraid of water. I'm afraid this thing will be useful in the future. Then, Yi Lin glanced at the Puppet Defect Modification Device with 2 remaining uses, and put it away. After these 4 lottery tests, Yi Lin probably figured out the explosion rate of the system. Without the help of puppet materials, the randomness of direct extraction is very high, and there is a high probability of extracting some junk items. However, if you extract it directly, you may also extract special items. For example, this Puppet Defect Modification Device, if you add puppet materials, it will not be so easy to draw. Yi Lin commented in his heart that he probably had a clue about how to use the points in the future. If there are high-level materials in the future, use the materials to assist in extraction. If there are extra points, you can reserve a part for backup, and the rest can be drawn directly to draw the prize. After knowing the bottom line, Yi Lin also frowned at Third Raikage's body on the ground. Advertisement. After thinking for a while, he also directly put the corpse into the system space. It's not that he has any special hobby of abusing corpses, but he just thinks that Third Raikage's corpse may be used as a special bargaining chip in the future. Then, he decided to leave the town where he had been for a year. He knew very well that the Third Ninja World War was coming. And in this chaotic situation in the entire ninja world, he is better to fish in troubled waters. Especially after possessing 2 S-rank puppets, he can send one to fight. The other, just stay by your side to protect yourself. In this case, he naturally won't continue to waste time here. As for the goal of the next action, he has already thought about it. In the hinterland of the country of grass, a ninja village stands here. Although the ninja village itself is not as large as the 5 great ninja villages, it is a little old from the perspective of the internal construction of the ninja village. At this time, in a corner outside the ninja village, a figure was standing in the shadows. It can be vaguely seen that his earlobes are extremely long, and they have even fallen to the position close to his waist. Grass Ninja Village is much bigger than expected. And this person is naturally Yi Lin, who manipulates the Enel puppet. When he decided to leave the town, Yi Lin actually had a rough idea. He needs the corpses of the strong, treasures in a lot of battles, so it is inevitable to take them from the hands of other ninja villages. After all, most of the resources and powerhouses in the ninja world are masters in the hands of various ninja villages. So the question is, which ninja village should he target? The behemoths of the 5 ninja villages each have the existence of Jinchuriki and have a profound background, so Yi Lin naturally put them aside. Even in the remaining small ninja villages, there are many strong people. For example, Hanzo of the Salamander in Rain Shinobi Village is called a demigod, capable of fighting against Konaha Sanin alone. In terms of strength, it should be firmly at the top of the S rank, and even S+ at the peak is not impossible. Yi Lin was reluctant to touch such a hard bone for the time being. As for other things like Taki Ninja Village, there are no strong people and no resources, and Yi Lin has no interest. So after thinking about it, Yi Lin found that the best choice was actually the Grass Ninja Village in the country where he lived, the Land of Grass. The Grass Ninja Village was established very early, almost the first time the Ninja Village was established. The strength of this ninja village is not strong, but it is very good at diplomatic means, dealing with the powerful countries by selling intelligence and diplomatic cooperation. And the key is that, as far as Yi Lin knows, there is a very powerful treasure in Grass Ninja Village. It was a treasure handed down from the Sage of 6 Paths period, called the Box of Bliss. Asterisk. Chapter 87 Warlords of the Sea, Enel. New book for collection. The Box of Bliss, in the legend of the Grass Ninja Village, is the magic weapon left by the Sage of 6 Paths. As long as a large amount of chakra is injected into the box, the wish can be realized. The grass ninjas have always kept the existence of the box of bliss extremely secret, and the outside world has hardly gotten a shred of wind. Even the grass ninjas have ambitions to directly rule the ninja world with the power of the box of bliss. But Yi Quelin knew that that thing was actually a collection of twisted monsters that sealed countless fears and destructions. But whatever the essence of the box of bliss is, it's a true treasure. For Yi Lin, this kind of thing is almost equivalent to points and materials. Therefore, the grass ninja village with it has naturally become Yi Lin's first goal. Hard net. Control the Enel puppet to cast the hard net, and the huge detection net completely wraps the entire grass ninja village invisibly. Oh, is the area where civilians live and the area where ninjas live separate? With the help of Shinwang's perception, Yi Lin quickly sensed the situation of the grass ninja village. You must know that among the ninja villages, the 5 major ninja villages are almost all commoners and ninjas living together to build villages. But in some small ninja villages, this is not the case. In the small ninja village, the status of civilians is lower, while the ninjas who guard the country occupy a high position. In particular, the country of Kusakano is known for its ignorance of internal affairs, so the construction of Kusanagi village follows this style. Therefore, the grass ninja village is directly divided into 2 parts, and the distance between them is quite far. A part of the beautifully restored area is populated by ninjas. On the other hand, some of the simple and poor farmland is inhabited by civilians. It's a mindless move, this kind of method to directly divide the status of the upper and lower ranks. The village can only be a ghost if it becomes strong. Yi Lin sneered. With such a mindless way of dividing, you can guess that ninjas from the grass ninja village are bound to be discriminated against, and it is even more impossible to have the same heart as the village. But for Yi Lin, this is undoubtedly a good thing. Ninjas and civilians are divided into 2 areas to live in, which reduces the difficulty of finding targets. It happens to be solved together, and it saves me from having to look for them one by one. The corners of Yi Lin's mouth twitched slightly. Advertisement. At the same time, in the grass ninja village. In a luxurious mansion with sketches carved in it, 6 people were sitting on the seats. They all wear Kusanagi's forehead protector, which is obviously Kusanagi's ninja. This is our chance. At this time, a man with a dignified face said the same. He sat at the top, obviously the leader of the crowd. Regardless of the authenticity of the news from Rock Shinobi, it is now certain that Cloud Shinobi will start revenge. The ninja world will not be peaceful, it is our biggest opportunity to open the box of bliss. After hearing his words, most of the people in front of him also showed excitement. Lord Grass Shadow is right, this is the best chance. With the war, we can kidnap a lot of ninjas and start it with their chakra. Their words were full of ambition. But if these words spread to the ninja world, it would definitely cause a riot. Because of the name of Shadow, it is still exclusive to the 5 great ninja villages. No matter how strong the leaders of other ninja villages are, they are not qualified to be called shadows. And now this grass shadow dares to call himself Shadow, obviously he can see his ambition. In particular, what they said was even more taboo in the village. Capturing ninjas in any village is enough to start a war. Capturing ninjas in any village is enough to start a war. In action. But at this time, Cao Ying was looking down at a thin middle-aged man with black hair and an indifferent face. He was the only one who didn't respond too much to Sokage's words. Lord Grass Shadow is right, we must turn it on. And after a while, Wu Wei nodded slowly, and made a response. It's just that when he spoke, there was a trace of sadness and determination in his eyes. Advertisement. In action, you. After seeing this, Kusakam wanted to say something. But soon, his expression changed. Boom. Because everyone heard it, there were bursts of thunder and shouting from outside the mansion. Enemy attack. After hearing the shout, several people also left the mansion instantly. At this time, the village was already in chaos. The electric snake surging and tumbling, illuminating the dark night, and at the same time letting Cao Ying see the figure that appeared with thunder not far away. Lord Kusaka. Enemy, enemy. At this time, the other party was grabbing a struggling grass ninja Jonin in his hand at will, and looked at the grass shadow with great interest. The 4-sided jade drums behind him, the tall body, and the extremely long earlobes are undoubtedly very recognizable. Who are you? What is the purpose of attacking my Kusanagi village? But even the grass shadow is completely unable to connect any known powerhouse with the man in front of him. Then, Cao Ying saw a sneer on the other's face. Boom. From his hands, the arc suddenly appeared. The Jonin in his hand let out a whimper, and was thrown to the ground by him. Then, he stepped forward. Bah, bah, every step he took, there was a clear arc of electric arc surging beside him like a snake. 7 warlords of the sea, Enel. The hard rock ground melted with electricity, and Enel's eyes looked calmly at the shadow of the grass. I have been ordered to fetch the box of bliss, give it to me. Asterisk. Chapter 9 Give you destruction. New book for collection. As Enel spoke, Kusakage froze in place as if hit by a bullet. He knows the existence of the box of bliss. Because Enel told the biggest secret in Cao Ying's heart. The box of bliss has been secretly passed down by the grass ninja village since the Sengoku period. In the entire grass ninja village, the only person who knows the existence of the box of bliss is less than a palm. Kusakai knew that once this Sage of Six Paths artifact was known to others, Kusanagi would definitely be wiped out. But now, the other party obviously knows the existence of the Box of Bliss. 7 Warlords of the Sea. Enel. But on the other hand, on the side of the Grass Shadow, I have never even heard of this name. Mysterious, powerful, and has an extremely terrifying intelligence network. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. At this moment, a message that came only not long ago flashed in Kuying's heart. It was a message from Rock Shinobi to the various ninja villages, indicating the existence of an organization called Gote 13. But at the time, Kusage didn't take it seriously at all, just thought it was Rock Shinobi's shirk. But now it seems that things are likely to be true. Gote 13, 7 Warlords of the Sea, these two groups undoubtedly have very subtle things in common. For example, they have never had any rumors in the ninja world before, and there are extremely powerful powerhouses among them. How many organizations like this exist in the shadows of the ninja world? Single quote. Thinking of this, Cao Ying's heart sank. Don't think too much, just hand over the Box of Bliss obediently. However, while Koying was analyzing the possibility of the other party's details, Enel grinned slightly. Ridiculous. Kusakai gritted her teeth and said coldly. Even if he knew that the other party was likely to be an extremely difficult enemy, he would never give in because of such a word or two. Go. As his words fell, 4 figures instantly appeared beside Enel. Armed with sharp ninja knives, they appeared with an extremely fast body flicker technique and slashed towards Enel. And they are also the guard members of the Grass Shadow, known as the guards of the Leaves of Grass. Each of them is the top assassination ninja of the Grass Ninja after being carefully selected countless times, specifically to attack and assassinate the enemy who is a threat to the Grass Shadow. Laugh. The ninja knife easily cut off Enel's head, and the smoothness even made Kusokage a little uncomfortable. But after confirming that Enel's head was indeed cut off, Kusakai was relieved. Then, he sneered and said, "What 7 Warlords of the Sea, it's just advertisement." He was interrupted before he finished speaking. Because he saw that Enel's head, which had been chopped off, smiled at him at this time. At the same time, Enel's headless body moved. Rice wife. With a wave of the arm, the huge lightning turned into the shape of a sharp sword. Buzz. There was only a flash of lightning in front of Cao Ying's eyes, and the next moment, the 4 guards of Leaves of Grass were cut off by the middle. Then, in the ghostly eyes of Koying, Enel's head turned into a bolt of lightning and returned to his body. His face remained flat. So why are you courting death? Obviously you can't open the Box of Bliss, right? Drag the whole village into the water for a useless thing. Your so-called Grass Shadow failed. After hearing Enel's words, Kusakai didn't respond at all. He just rushed forward, turned into an afterimage and attacked directly towards Enel. At the same time, countless grass ninjas around them also started working together. Earth style, ground thorn technique. Water style, water dragon bomb technique. Countless ninjutsu attacks towards Enel, the momentum is extremely amazing. But in the face of the incoming attack, Enel's face did not show the slightest wave. Whether it was elite Jonin or Chunan's attack, he didn't make any moves. But whether it was kunai, ninja or ninjutsu, when they hit him, they seemed to hit him in nothingness. It was penetrated by the ground thorn and turned into lightning and escaped directly. It was cut in half with a ninja sword, and it recovered after a while. But relatively speaking, every lightning bolt from Enel's hand can easily melt a house to scrap metal, or turn an area into coke. This guy, what kind of magic is this? Why can't we attack him? Monster. This guy is a monster. Facing the completely incomprehensible results, the expressions of the Kusanagi gradually became extremely ugly. Not to mention an ordinary Kusanagi, even Sokage felt extremely heavy at this moment. The lightning-style ninjutsu used by the opponent was completely beyond his understanding. But at the same time, basic strength tests are almost there. Yi Lin, who was controlling Enel, muttered to himself while observing the battle. As with the previous test of Byakuya Kuchiki's puppet, Yi Lin naturally wanted to test the power of Enel's puppet in actual combat. Advertisement. As for the conclusion drawn, it was similar to what Yi Lin expected. In terms of fighting skills and variety, the Enel puppet is inferior to the Byakuya Kuchiki puppet. In terms of combat skills, even a random Jonin might not be as good. But in terms of pure combat power, Thunderfruit's ability is still extremely pervert. And what surprised Yi Lin the most was undoubtedly the ability of elementalization. Not only ninja swords, pure physical sharps such as kunai, and even ninjutsu can be ignored directly. Yi Lin originally thought that Enel's elemental ability might be restrained by ninjutsu. After all, Haki in the pirate world is said to be the energy generated by human beings after training, and the essence of chakra is the same. But after testing, he found that even ninjutsu seemed unable to harm Enel. Being hit by ninjutsu will only increase the consumption rate of Enel's energy. In this way, Enel's elementalization ability may only be restrained in this world by the chakra, ceiling, or the extremely special blood-sustaining limit. Besides that, with sufficient energy, other means of attack can be basically ignored. Yi Lin couldn't help but sigh. It is indeed one of the strongest devil fruit in the pirate world, this ability is too pervert. If it weren't for the limitation of energy, he even thought he could learn Nagato and control the Enel puppet to go straight to Konaha for a walk. Then, try again with high-intensity output. However, with the completion of the basic test, Yi Lin naturally no longer had the will to continue with the grass ninjas. When his thoughts fell, Enel's legs instantly turned into lightning. Boom. Facing the grass shadow who had been entangled with him, he kicked it out. Even the grass shadow, of course, can't react at this speed close to the speed of light. He let out a muffled hum, and the huge force made him fly backwards in an instant, blasting through several houses all the way before finally stopping. His chest was scorched black by the power of the lightning burst. If it wasn't for the armor specially made by him as the leader of the grass ninja to save his life, I am afraid that just this blow can kill him directly. But even so, Kusage still felt like he was about to faint. However, just as Kusokage, who was vomiting blood, struggled to open his eyes. Stubborn guy, he heard the monster in front of him speak again. Since you want to destroy, I will give you destruction. While the words fell, boom, in Kusokage's ear, he heard thunder. Chapter 10 One hit, one village is broken. New book for collection. I will give you destruction. After hearing this sentence, Kusakai opened her eyes subconsciously. A huge lightning bolt suddenly appeared above the sky. Huge electric arcs circled the sky like giant snakes. Against the backdrop of Wanlei, Enel stands tall at the top of the buildings in the grass ninja village. His ruthless eyes were staring lightly at the grass ninjas below, and there seemed to be electric lights flickering in his eyes. And watching this scene, all the grass ninjas suddenly felt a sense of powerlessness in their hearts. They seem to feel that they are not fighting against humans, but the incarnation of those thunder and lightning in the sky. It's like a moving natural disaster. The next moment, Enel moved. He raised his hand slightly, then tapped the taiko drum on his left shoulder. Boom! Thunder surged with the sound of the drum, and countless lightning bolts began to melt into Enel's body. His body turned into lightning, and his will was like thunder. After a while, a huge figure appeared in the sky above Kusanagi village. The whole body is composed of surging thunder, the huge figure and majestic appearance, the giant that appears is like a legendary god. In other words, even the word, as if, can be removed. 20 million volts. Thor. The words fell, and then the gods punched. Like a meteorite falling from the sky, the huge fist carries the roaring rakeage and terrifying power, and the intersection of lightning and air produces a piercing cry. Boom. There was no blood splashing, no wailing and screaming, only the wailing of the earth, the dazzling firelight and the rich smoke and dust of the explosion. The huge shock wave destroyed almost all the remaining houses, and the huge smoke and dust formed a mushroom cloud. And when the smoke and dust dissipated, all that was left of the original location of the grass ninja village was a piece of ruins. A huge crater appeared in the central area where the fist fell, and the surrounding area of the crater was charred black. Countless corpses that were directly turned into coke were arranged around the giant pit, and of course more grass ninjas were directly turned into coke. The only remaining ninjas in the marginal area also fell into the ruins and did not know their lives. The only person standing in the center of the entire pothole is Enel. He stood on the ruins, his face was calm, and he didn't seem to be moved by the surrounding situation. But that's what it should be. It was not the first day that Yi Lin came to this world, and he had already seen clearly the rules of this world. He who has power is hegemony, and that is the nature of this world. Senju Hashirama's power is enough to rule the ninja world, so he wants peace, and the ninja world will be peaceful. As for the grass ninjas, I don't know how many ninjas have been kidnapped and sacrificed to the box of bliss, and every ninja basically has blood on hand. So at this time, Yi Lin paid more attention to other things than the tragic situation of drafting Ninja Village itself. The power is good, and it shouldn't be much worse than the super god Luo Tianzhong when Pain destroyed Konaha. Advertisement. Looking at the surrounding ruins, Yi Lin secretly calculated the power of this blow. He vaguely remembered that in the original book, Pain turned the entire Konaha into ruins with the help of Rinnegan's one-shot super god Luo Tianzhong. Now his blow has also turned the grass ninja village into ruins. There may be a gap in the middle, but it will not be too big. This is not Enel's true most powerful move. Enel's ability is extremely powerful in pure destructive power, and with the help of elemental ability, it is more than enough in terms of self-protection. Maybe not as good as Byakuya Kuchiki in one-on-one combat, but it's a super killer on the battlefield or in large-scale battles. Yi Lin had an extremely accurate positioning for Enel in his heart. The only drawback is that the energy consumption is too great. But then, Yi Lin also had some headaches. With this strike of Thor, the Enel puppet's energy has been consumed by a full 50%. The huge destructive power is exchanged for a huge consumption of energy. And you know, this isn't Enel's most powerful move yet. If you use a stronger Lei Ying, or unlock a stronger skill in the future, this energy problem will be a big problem. So Yi Lin also really took the matter of energy to his heart, and secretly made up his mind to try to find a suitable energy source when this matter was over. But Shangxin belongs to Shangxin, but Yi Lin will naturally not forget the business. Do you want to hide? Under Yi Lin's control, Enel turned his head slightly to look at a broken wall not far away. After hearing his words, a ninja slowly walked out of the ruins. It was a middle-aged man with thin black hair and an indifferent face. He is none other than the Grass Ninja Elite Jonin who appeared at the Grass Shadow meeting before, Wu Wei. At this time, the elite Jonin of the Grass Ninja village was covered in hideous scorched black scars. He looked at the surrounding ruins with a complicated expression. Then, he looked at Enel again. He looked cold and determined. Why don't you kill me? When the Thunder God, whom Enel had transformed into before, fell with a punch, Wu Wei saw a thunder light sheltering him in it. So Wu Wei also knew that he was intentionally spared his life by the other party. As for the reason, he didn't know. Enel glanced at Wu Wei and said calmly, "Don't you want to save your son?" At the same time as these words were said, Wu Wei's pupils shrank. He looked at Enel in disbelief. Your son Wugu was swallowed up by the box of bliss, wasn't he? Give me the box of bliss and have a chance to revive your son. Enel calmly expressed Wu Wei's greatest desire in his heart. This elite Jonin, who has always been indifferent, couldn't even help trembling after hearing this. Sure enough, it's good to know the plot. Looking at the other party's performance, Yi Lin also sighed in his heart. That's right. Advertisement. The reason why he dared to directly destroy the Grass Ninja village is because he recognized Wu Wei. He knew very well what happened to Wu Wei. As Jonin of Kusanagi village, he and his son Wugu have been trying to open the box of bliss. But since the essence of the box of bliss is an out-and-out twisted evil, his son Wugu was devoured. Wu Wei, on the other hand, would give everything to resurrect his son. On the surface, he continued to do his best for the village, serving as the city lord of the largest prison in the ninja world, the Ghost Lantern City, and sending the chakras of the criminal ninjas in the city as sacrifices into the box of bliss. But in fact, his heart had already betrayed Kusanagi village. He opened the box of bliss just to save his son. Without Yi Lin's intervention, Jonin's plan would have been successful. 20 years later, he will successfully open the box of bliss and be killed by Wugu himself, who has turned into a monster. What do you mean by chance? At this time, Wu Wei, who was a little calmer, also spoke up. It's literally, why should I trust you? You have no choice. Enel said calmly. If you don't say it, I will kill you. In that case, your son will not have any chance to be resurrected, will he? After hearing Enel's response, Wu Wei was also silent. As Enel said, he had no choice. He doesn't care about his life. But for his son, he could give up everything. Even if there is a shred of hope, he will not let it go. I'll take you. After taking a deep breath, Wu Wei said. Lead the way. Enel nodded. So Wu Wei took Enel directly out of the Grass Ninja village, and took him all the way to a very secret underground facility. On the way, Yi Lin also opened his eyes. Along the way, Wu Wei used more than 10 special techniques for unlocking the ceiling barrier. The interior of the underground facility is extremely complex and has various organs set up, which also shows that the Grass Ninja village attaches great importance to this place. So Yi Lin couldn't help but secretly feel a little fortunate. If it wasn't for Wu Wei to lead the way, then even if he had Xinhuang's assistance, it would be a bit difficult to perceive such a place. Under the leadership of Wu Wei, the two soon came to the core area of the underground facility. Here, only one thing is stored. It was a huge box with an ominous pitch-black radiance and 4 hideous faces engraved on all sides. And Yi Lin recognized at a glance that this thing was the purpose of his coming here. Bliss Box. Asterisk. Chapter 11 The Third Puppet, Black Death Mo. New book for collection. Looking at the huge pitch-black box, Enel turned and glanced at Wu Wei. The next thing is not something you can see. Did you pass out yourself, or did I help you? Quote. After hearing Enel's words, a trace of struggle flashed in Wu Wei's eyes. To be honest, Wu Wei also knows that what Enel said before is very likely to be false. The other party is likely to choose to kill him directly after obtaining the box of bliss. But, go ahead. As said before, for Wu Wei, he would rather gamble his life on a trivial possibility. Bah. So the next moment, the arc flashes. Then Wu Wei's body fell directly to the ground, completely unconscious. This guy is really obsessed with saving his son. Single quote. After confirming that Wu Wei did not use any means to defend, Yi Lin also sighed a little. However, he has no plans to kill Wu Wei for the time being. Even if it goes well, Wu Wei's future may be of great use to him. He just manipulated Enel to carry Wu Wei to the side of the box of bliss, and touched the unknown box with his hand. Puppet recovery. With the formation of the familiar pitch-black black hole, the next moment Enel, the box of bliss and Wu Wei disappeared in place at the same time. At the same time, Konaha, inside Hokage's office. Third Hokage Sarutobi Hiizaki sits in a chair. At this time, the famous ninja man in the ninja world is not yet old, and he is still in his prime. He is undoubtedly very majestic. But at this time, his expression was very solemn. Sarutobi Hiizaki's brain has been in a state of high load since the previous incident of Rock Shinobi's sneak attack on Cloud Shinobi, which resulted in the death of Third Raikage. There are 2 reasons. The first point is the death of Third Raikage. In this case, of course, Rock Shinobi is most responsible. But at the same time, Konaha also has a considerable role in it. If it wasn't for the clash between Konaha and the retreating Cloud Shinobi, Rock Shinobi wouldn't have had a chance to attack from the rear at all. According to Cloud Shinobi's usual domineering temper, Konaha will naturally be the target of their revenge. As for the second point, it was news from Rock Shinobi after the war about a mysterious organization called Gote 13 Feet. This news is not trustworthy to most shinobi villages, but it feels that Rock Shinobi is shirking responsibility. Advertisement. But Sarutobi Hiizaki doesn't think so. He knew very well that 3rd Tsuchikage Onogi was also a man of great talent, or a cunning person. Knowing that a battle between Cloud Shinobi and Rock Shinobi was inevitable, he couldn't have made such a frivolous act of shirk responsibility. So Sarutobi Hiizaki thinks that the existence of that group is probably real. After considering the above 2 points, Sarutobi Hiizaki, who knew that the war was coming, decisively dispatched a large number of spies to patrol the borders of the Fire Country. And just now, a scout came with news. Fighting in Kusanagi village, suspected of being attacked by an unknown organization. These few words are enough to make Sarutobi Hiizaki alert. Unknown organization, that Gote 13. Assault on Kusanagi village. What are these guys trying to do? Sarutobi Hiizaki frowned. War is near, but an unknown but powerful organization suddenly appears. All this made him smell conspiracy. It's as if there's a giant behind-the-scenes manipulator behind everything. In particular, the location of the other party is still in the territory of the country of grass, the neighboring country of the country of fire. No, we must investigate. So he immediately made a judgment, and immediately said to the door. Let Minato come to me. On the other hand, Yi Lin naturally wouldn't know Konaha's reaction. At this time, he was enjoying the fruits of victory in a forest that was quite a distance away from Kusanagi. Congratulations to host for defeating the enemy and earning 3,600 points. The points earned by defeating Kusanagi were naturally not beyond Yi Lin's expectations. As for the number of points for the remnant, Yi Lin still expressed some surprise. In an army of rock shinobi, the number of strong men above Jonin is enough for 2,500 points. And in Kusanagi's main formation, the number of powerhouses above Jonin adds up to 3,600 points. In this way, the 5 great ninja villages are really stronger than the small ninja villages like Grass Ninja, I don't know how many grades. Yi Lin couldn't help but be a little stunned, and had a deeper understanding of the gap between the 5 major ninja villages in the ninja world and other ninja villages. However, his attention to points was only a small part, and he soon turned his attention to the most crucial gains. Looking at the extremely ominous box of bliss in front of him, Yi Lin did not choose to approach it rashly. System, does it meet the requirements for treasure exchange? He just asked softly. Special item, bliss box, detected. This item can be exchanged for points and high-level puppet materials, do you want to exchange it immediately? Close black lens bracket. Really? Although he had expected it for a long time, Yi Lin breathed a sigh of relief after hearing the system's return. Advertisement. Sure enough, as he expected, a treasure like the box of bliss is enough to meet the requirements of a treasure, in the system's judgment. Redeem now. Afterwards, Yi Lin chose to exchange it immediately without hesitation. Open black lens bracket receiving this item, close black lens bracket. As the sound of the system fell, Yi Lin also heard a crazy roar that was indescribable in words. No, who are you? Not even Sage of 6 Paths. The roar seemed to contain all the negative and twisted emotions in the world, sadness, anger, pain, despair, jealousy. And Yi Lin also knew that the source of the sound was the monster sealed in the box by Sage of 6 Paths in ancient times. The monster that can't be killed, born of negative distorted emotions, is called Wu. But obviously, the system is much better than Sage of 6 Paths. So almost a moment later, only the screams in the box disappeared without a trace. In Yi Lin's ears, there was a system prompt. After the collection is completed, the host consumes the item, box of bliss. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, get 5,000 points. Close black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, get the S rank puppet material, twisted crystal. FK. This huge profit undoubtedly made Yi Lin lie on the spot. He guessed that the box of bliss might be able to exchange for quite good things, but the current harvest is undoubtedly beyond his estimation. 5,000 points are not enough, the key is the S-level puppet material. Open black lens bracket. Twisted crystal. Close black lens bracket. S-class puppet material. The crystal of the twisted will possessed by the indestructible and ugly creature, Wu, can be used as a material to extract puppets with corresponding attributes. Quote. This introduction, how does it smell like a villain? Yi Lin murmured a little. The puppet material extracted from the unknown thing like the box of bliss, no matter how you look at the summoned puppet, it is estimated that it will be a bit strange. However, this kind of thought was just a slight turn, and it was left behind by Yi Lin. Anyway, the puppet is manipulated by him, and it is impossible to pose any threat to him. So, system, use twisted crystal as an auxiliary material to extract puppets. Yi Lin was familiar with the system and gave the order. Host uses the S-level material, twisted crystal, for auxiliary extraction. The material has been consumed. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Host has 8,600 points remaining, 500 points have been consumed. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Extracting in progress, close black lens bracket. Congratulations to host, get the S-rank puppet, Black Death Mo. Chapter 12 Special Achievement, The Source of Ghosts. New book for collection. Congratulations to host, getting the S-rank puppet, Black Death Mo. As the system's words fell, a puppet also appeared in front of Yi Lin. It was a man with a high black ponytail and 6 eyes, 2 of which had the words, upper limit, and 1, respectively. He has a strange Madara pattern on his left forehead and chin, wearing a purple and black kimono, with a long sword that is as bright red as blood hanging around his waist. It's actually him. After looking at the man who was born with 6 eyes, no matter how he looked at it, he was inhuman. Yi Lin's eyes widened. Open black lens bracket Black Death Mo close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket S class puppet close black lens bracket. Controlling proficiency. 0%. Ghost Slayer series puppet. 12 Ghost Moon, one of the winding strings. Skills. Ghost Body, permeating the world, Blood Ghost Technique, Ghost Blade, Moon Breath. Special skills. Energy self-sufficiency, the puppet will not recover energy by itself, it needs to devour human flesh to recover energy, limit breakthrough unlocked after the control proficiency reaches 50%. Defect. Must eat human flesh and blood, fear the sun. Puppet charge. 100%. Puppet recovery. Available. Ghost extermination. Is there such a thing in the puppet? Yi Lin frowned. Although he had long guessed that the S-level material obtained from the Box of Bliss would not be a normal puppet. But he didn't expect that such a puppet would be drawn out for him. Black Death Mo, from the world of ghost destruction, is known as one of the evil ghosts of the 12 ghost months. 12 ghost moons are the 12 strongest evil ghosts under the command of the Ghost King, Wumai, divided into upper and lower strings. And Black Death Mo is the strongest among the 12 ghost moons, and ranks as one of the top performers. He has an immortal body, a transparent world that is one of the highest combat fields, inexhaustible physical strength, powerful swordsmanship, and a unique blood ghost technique in the starting breath of the moon. This can also be seen from the ratings. Being able to be rated as S grade itself represents the strength of this puppet. But Yi Lin felt that the most important thing was not the puppet itself, but his identity, a ghost. To put it bluntly, the ghost that destroys the world is an out-and-out monster. Feeding on human flesh and blood, most of them are hideous and extremely twisted. Advertisement. And this is undoubtedly unacceptable to Yi Lin. He himself is a manipulator of puppets, but after asking himself, he absolutely cannot accept cannibalism. No. System, can the puppet defect repair device repair Hey Death Mo's defects? But at this time, Yi Lin suddenly remembered. Can be repaired, but repairing all the defects of the puppet needs to consume the remaining 2 repair times. The system responded, and Yi Lin felt helpless after hearing it. Repair it. Obviously, he has no choice. And as his words fell, the puppet defect repair device that he had put away before also appeared again. But this time, after the golden light shone, this special item that Yi Lin cherished directly turned into dust and disappeared into the air. The bug of the puppet, Black Death Mo, has been fixed. The puppet can use the flesh of any creature to replenish energy. The defect of the puppet, Black Death Mo, has been fixed. The puppet is no longer afraid of sunlight. When the news of the system came from his ears, Yi Lin was relieved even though he was distressed. But he did not expect that the sound of the system did not end there. Congratulations to host, the host puppet Black Death Mo triggers the special achievement, Perfect Ghost. The puppet obtains an additional special skill, the origin of the ghost. Achievement. And hearing this unfamiliar term, Yi Lin immediately turned his attention to the past. Open black lens bracket Perfect Ghost close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Achievement close black lens bracket. Achievement Introduction. Let a puppet from the Ghost Extinguishing World series overcome the sun. Achievement Reward. Special skill, the source of ghosts. There is such a thing in the system. After seeing the introduction in the system, Yi Lin was a little surprised. He never knew before that such a setting still existed in the system. Return to host. Special achievements are hidden content in the system. Puppets in the system have corresponding special achievements. Open black lens bracket complete special achievements to get additional special rewards close black lens bracket. Hidden content. Advertisement. Hearing what the system said, many thoughts immediately popped up in Yi Lin's mind. In fact, he had always been curious about the difference between the Byakuya Kuchiki puppet and the Enel puppet he had drawn. That is the Byakuya Kuchiki puppet in the introduction, clearly written, Gotei 13 series. On the other hand, Enel, although Yi Lin forcibly gave him the title of 7 Warlords of the Sea. But in fact he is not the 7 Warlords of the Sea, and of course there is no 7 Warlords of the Sea series of words. But now it seems, a series of puppets like 12 Ghost Moon or Gotei 13 should also contain hidden content for a special achievement. Maybe after I extract other puppets of the same series, I can only know part of the content of the achievement. This kind of feeling of discovering a new continent made Yi Lin feel quite excited. But soon, he also pressed the excitement, and turned to look at the new special skills obtained by Black Death Mo. Open black lens bracket the source of the ghost close black lens bracket. 1. As a perfect ghost, Black Death Mo's blood can make people who are willing to take blood turn into the same perfect ghost, greatly improving their strength. 2. Take the ghost that blood turns into, everything is under the control of Black Death Mo. Seeing this skill, Yi Lin was instantly shocked. Isn't this the ability of the Ghost King Wu Miserable? And it's an evolved version. In the ghost-killing world, the source of all ghosts is the King of Ghosts. As the source of all ghosts, Wu Mian can use his own blood to turn other people into ghosts, and make almost all ghosts under his control. And now, the skills that Black Death Mo has obtained are obviously an evolutionary version of No Misfortune. Not only can he turn people into ghosts, but he's also the perfect ghost. Greatly enhanced strength, immortality and immortality, infinite vitality, and does not need to feed on humans and is not afraid of sunlight. The only downside is that it adds a requirement to be willing to take blood. This thing seems very useful. Yi Lin rubbed his chin, and instantly understood the horror of this skill. There are definitely not many people in this world who are willing to drink blood in pursuit of power, and as long as they are willing. As long as there is enough time, I can even easily have an army of ghosts without flaws, immortal and immortal. Yi Lin couldn't help thinking of Otsutsugi Keigaya's White Zetsu Core. There is no doubt that this skill of Black Death Mo is of absolute strategic significance, and it is even enough to affect the balance of the ninja world. In comparison, even Black Death Mo's own S-rank combat power is a bit inferior. Chapter 13 My Wife Shanyi, SSS Level Props. New book for collection. Yi Lin didn't stop his lottery draw after he was drawn to Black Death Mo. Just like what he had thought before, he planned to reserve 2,000 points for backup, and put all the remaining points into the lottery. Pick me up. Especially this time, Yi Lin, who had 8,100 points left, was undoubtedly rich. But, host consumes 6,000 points and can be drawn 12 times. The first draw, congratulations to the host for obtaining the D-level item, Rukia Kuchiki's card. Second draw, congratulations to host for obtaining the D-level item, Inuyasha's hair. The third draw, congratulations to the host for obtaining the D-level puppet, training puppet. Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. 10 draws in a row, 10 heartbreaks in a row. 10 draws, without exception, are useless D-level props. For example, if Rukia Kuchiki's card is issued, the effect is to increase the probability of drawing the puppet Rukia Kuchiki by 0.1%. Another example is the hair of Inuyasha, the effect is to deter other dogs. Training puppets for combat, as the name suggests, are training puppets without any special effects. This ultimate African experience also made Yi Lin's heart shiver. How could it become a rubbish touch? Single quote. Just when Yi Lin was a little suspicious of whether his previous judgment was correct, the remaining 2 draws changed his expression instantly. The 11th draw, congratulations to the host for obtaining the B-level puppet, My Wife Shanyi. Coming. Yi Lin's heart jumped as soon as he heard the news. Then, a new puppet appeared in front of him. It was a young boy with short blonde hair in a yellow feather weave. And on his waist, there is a knife that exudes strange heat. Open black lens bracket My Wife Shanyi close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket B-level puppet close black lens bracket. Controlling proficiency. 0%. Ghost Killing Series Ghost Killing Team Members. Skill. Breath of Thunder 1 type, hearing. Open black lens bracket special equipment. Sunblade close black lens bracket. Special skills. Concentrate a little bit, reach the pinnacle, the control proficiency reaches 100% to unlock, and the puppet level is raised to a level. It's the puppet of the Ghost Extermination series again. Today I have a fate with this series. Yi Lin muttered. But obviously, this puppet didn't mean much to him. With 3 S-rank puppets in front, even if my wife Zenitsu raised her proficiency to ultimate, she would still be at the level of A rank, which is really not enough to watch. Advertisement. It can only be said that talking is better than nothing. So Yi Lin can only comfort himself. After all, it is a B-level puppet, which is 10,000 times better than those D-level garbage, isn't it? But it was when Yi Lin thought so. The 12th draw, congratulations to the host for obtaining the SSS level special item, Eternal Enhancement Coupon. The sound coming from my ears was almost as deafening as thunder. SSSS class. He even wondered if he had heard it wrong. Especially when he found this item in the system bar, his eyes were straight. Open black lens bracket Eternal Reinforcement Coupon close black lens bracket. SSSS level special props. Open black lens bracket use times, 3/3 close black lens bracket. Effect. A puppet material can be used on the host. The presentation was surprisingly simple. But just this line of words made Yi Lin almost jump on the spot. Use a puppet material on the host. He knows what it means better than anyone else. You must know that one of Yi Lin's biggest problems now is actually the problem of his body. Just like other puppet masters. Although his puppet is extremely powerful, the weakness of his body has always been a huge weakness. Enel's web of heart makes this weakness difficult to target, but it still exists. Especially as Yi Lin has more and more puppets, this weakness will become more and more deadly. After all, the puppet thing will be discovered sooner or later. At that time, if Yi Lin's enemies can't deal with the puppet, they will definitely find a way to shoot Yi Lin himself. But now, Yi Lin saw the solution. For example, one of the materials he had obtained before, Third Raikage's Thunder Enhancement. If he uses it on himself, then he will have the Thunder Ninjutsu level of Third Raikage, leaping from an ordinary person to Kage level. Only 3 chances. However, Yi Lin quickly calmed down. He also knew, SSS level power-ups, this time he was definitely lucky to be able to extract them. I don't know how long it will be until the next time I get something like this. In other words, he has to be cautious in these 3 opportunities for strengthening, and he must choose the most suitable materials to strengthen himself. Boom. While Yi Lin was thinking about it, a loud noise suddenly came. Yi Lin turned his head to look subconsciously. Only then did he notice that the huge box of bliss not far away was actually crumbling apart. This is advertisement. Yi Lin was a little stunned. But soon, he understood. The monsters and all the power in the box of bliss are absorbed by the system and converted into points and puppet materials. In this case, the natural disintegration of the box of bliss is also reasonable. Boom. Boom. So in front of Yi Lin, I saw a large number of people being ejected from the box of bliss as it cracked. Each of these people wore different ninja village clothes, and their death was extremely miserable without exception, with a look of fear on their faces. In particular, their bodies are almost obviously incomplete, as if they were swallowed up by something. These are the ninjas that Kusanagi sacrificed to the box of bliss. Yi Lin knew at a glance that these ninjas must be the ninjas who had been kidnapped by Kusanagi from various places over the years and sacrificed to the box of bliss. At the end, Yi Lin saw a black-haired boy being sprayed out. It's just that unlike the previous ninjas, this black-haired boy's entire body is extremely pale, but he is obviously still conscious. This kid is Wusho. Yi Lin recognized at a glance that this young man was Wu Wei's son, Wugu. According to the original plot, this kid should have become the carrier of enlightenment in the end. No wonder he still has consciousness. Yi Lin glanced at Wugu and understood in his heart. Originally, the monster in the box, Wugu, chose Wugu as his carrier, so Wugu became the only one who still had consciousness among all the ninjas in the box. However, it's not really alive. But then, Yi Lin shook his head again. He could see that Wugu's body at this time no longer had any vitality, and was physically dead. As for his consciousness, it was only preserved due to the influence of the power of previous enlightenment, but it is obviously dissipating rapidly now. Thinking of this, Yi Lin suddenly glanced at the Black Death Mo puppet beside him. Then, a sharp light flashed in his eyes. Manipulating the Black Death Mo puppet, Yi Lin slowly came to Wugu. Facing the boy's gaze, the six-eyed evil spirit asked softly. You want to live? Hearing Hey Dead Mo's indifferent words, a burst of hope flashed in Wugu's eyes that were gradually losing their luster. It was clear that he wanted to live. After experiencing the torture of the bliss box, he desires to live more than anyone else. So the next moment, Hey Dead Mo gently stretched out his hand. The skin on the fingers cracked, and a drop of dark purple blood slowly flowed out. Then, drink him. Chapter 14 Namikaze Minato is here. New book for collection. 2 days later, outside the Grass Ninja Village. A figure stood at the top of the woods, looking at the ruins of the Grass Ninja Village not far away. The leader is a handsome young man with blonde hair. Wearing a ninja costume, he does not look gloomy as a ninja, but looks extremely sunny and handsome. And his name has spread throughout the entire ninja world as early as some time ago. Namikaze Minato, Golden Glitter of Konaha. Not long ago, he made a name for himself by taking on 4th Raikage and his partner Killer B1-on-2. Quote. But at this time, the expression of this well-deserved emerging Kage-level powerhouse of Konaha is extremely solemn. 2 days ago, he received a mission from the 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiizaki, the news that Kusanagi village was attacked by an unknown organization, and he was ordered to investigate. And because of the emergency, he didn't even bring the members of his team, and rushed here alone, staring at night. However, even though he had already known from the intelligence that the Grass Ninja village was attacked, he did not expect it to be to such an extent. Rather than calling it an attack, it's better to say that the Grass Ninja village was wiped out. Minato-sama. But at this moment, a ninja suddenly appeared in front of Namikaze Minato with a body flicker technique. Wearing a cat face mask on his head, he is an Anbu of Konaha. Anbu team member, Yu. He gave himself his code name, and Namikaze Minato nodded slightly. Konaha naturally placed her own eyeliner in the various countries around the Country of Fire, especially when she knew that the war was coming. Not only Konaha, but other major ninja villages actually have similar actions, and they are tacitly aware of each other. And the name Anbu, Yu, is Anbu who is in charge of monitoring the Grass Ninja village. The news that Kusanagi was attacked this time was also sent back to Konaha by the other party. Current situation. Namikaze Minato is concise. Kuso Ninja was attacked the night before 2 days ago. The other party used a lightning-style ninjutsu never seen before. The leader of the Grass Ninja village Teng Wu Shibu and a large number of Grass Ninja elites died in battle. A kind of ninjutsu. Namikaze Minato keenly captured the meaning of the words. Yes, the opponent destroyed the Grass Ninja village with just one blow. The voice of Yu's answer was also a little dry at this time. On that night 2 days ago, he witnessed the village of Kusanagi from afar being destroyed by that terrifying ninjutsu blow. That Kamui-like appearance, that terrifying destructive power, even he himself didn't want to believe it. After hearing Nai's answer, Namikaze Minato fell silent. The ninjutsu that destroyed a village with one blow was unheard of. Advertisement. Quote. What about the identity and purpose of the enemy? After a long silence, Namikaze Minato finally spoke with difficulty. The identity of the enemy is unknown, but he stayed for a while after destroying the Kusanagi village, and seemed to be searching for something. In the interest of safety, I did not investigate further. Anbu member. Yu answered without any hesitation. As Anbu, it's his job to make sure the message gets back to Konaha without error, so he doesn't investigate further. Quote. Who is the person in charge of Kusama Ninja now? Namikaze Minato took a deep breath and asked softly. It's Kusakano's elite Jonin Wuwei. He was seriously injured in the opponent's blow, but he survived. Now it's the ninjas who were out on duty before he led the grass ninja village, and the civilians to rebuild the village together. Yu replied. In action. Namikaze Minato nodded knowingly after hearing this. Come on, go see him. Wuwei, as the top elite Jonin of Grass Ninja Village, is naturally somewhat famous. After confirming the general situation, Namikaze Minato and Naruto stopped hiding their whereabouts and went directly into the Kusanagi village. After entering the Grass Ninja village, he also saw many grass ninjas still carrying the corpses in the ruins. And seeing their arrival at this time, the grass ninjas also looked at them one after another. Obviously, the arrival of ninjas from other villages at such a time made them quite vigilant. Continue with the mission. However, when the atmosphere was a little tense, a calm voice calmed the atmosphere. Then Namikaze Minato saw a black-haired man covered in bandages with only a rough face, walking over with the support of a young man. Namikaze Minato also recognized at a glance that the other party was elite Jonin Wuwei of Kusanagi village. As for the boy beside him, this is my son, Wugu. Seemingly aware of Namikaze Minato's doubts, Wuwei said softly, this is not the place to talk, come with me. So soon, Namikaze Minato followed Wuwei to an underground facility in Kusanagi village. The golden light of Konaha came over, it should be to investigate the guys we met this time, right? Wuwei coughed weakly, then also looked at Namikaze Minato. After hearing Wuwei's words, Namikaze Minato nodded. Who are the enemies? Why did they attack Kusanagi village? That guy is called Enel. When Wuwei said the name, his voice seemed to be a little hoarse. And Wugu, who was beside him, also showed grief and anger on his face at this time. Advertisement. He claimed to be a member of the 7 Warlords of the Sea, and used lightning-style ninjutsu like never before. As for the purpose of his coming to Kusanagi, it seems to be to capture something in the hands of Lord Fujitake. Wuwei said here, the words clearly stopped. Teng Wu Zibu, this is the real name of the previous, Grass Shadow. 7 Warlords of the Sea. And when he heard the word, a hint of surprise flashed in Namikaze Minato's eyes. According to the guess given to him by 3rd Hokage before he came, he thought it was the Gote 13 feet who had collided with Rock Shinobi not long ago who attacked Kusanagi. But unexpectedly, Wuwei said a completely unfamiliar name at this time. What did he steal? I don't know, it's something that Lord Teng Wu keeps, I'm not qualified to know. After hearing this question, Wuwei's words suddenly became a little stiff. Quote. After hearing Wuwei's answer, Namikaze Minato was also silent for a moment, and then did not continue to investigate further. He just asked the last question softly. In which direction did the other party leave, do you know? Not long after, Namikaze Minato and Shuru left the ruins of Kusanagi village. Lord Minato, Wuwei obviously didn't tell the truth. But just after leaving the Grass Ninja village, you couldn't help but say. I know. Namikaze Minato smiled. So he's fine. Namikaze Minato can also clearly see that there are reservations in Wuwei's words. Especially when it comes to what the enemy robbed, Wuwei obviously did not tell the truth. But it is precisely because of this that he feels that there is no problem with inaction. After all, Wuwei is Kusanagi, and they are Konaha's ninjas. If the other party reveals everything without reservation, then there is a problem. And Namikaze Minato has also probed before. Whether it is Wuwei or his son Wugu, there is no trace of transformation technique or illusion left on his body. What the other party took away from Kusanagi should be something Kusanagi didn't want others to know, so Wuwei would hide something from us. Namikaze Minato is not surprised. Every ninja village has its own secret, that is, Konaha, and there are many things inside that cannot be known. Namikaze Minato said softly, you, go and report the news to the village. Quote. Minato-sama, do you want it? Well, I'm going after that guy. Chapter 15 The Bizarre Adventure of Namikaze Minato. New book for collection. Unbeknownst to Namikaze Minato and Naruto, just after they left. In the underground facility where they stayed before, Wuwei and Wugu opened a very hidden door, and then gently knelt down in front of a person. My lord, they have already left. Wuwei spoke softly, his eyes faintly showing a hint of red. Well, you did a good job. In front of Wuwei, Yi Lin was naturally the one who sat plainly. Looking at the Wu Wei and Wugu father and son below, Yi Lin was naturally extremely satisfied. Just 2 days ago, after he discovered the dying Wugu from the box of bliss, he already had a plan in his mind. You must know that his current strength is actually not weak. The strength of the 3S rank puppets is enough to play a decisive role on any battlefield. However, Yi Lin knew that what he lacked most in the upcoming Third Ninja World War, that was intelligence. As someone who knows the key plot, the importance of intelligence to Yi Lin naturally goes without saying. But the key point is that the intelligence network cannot be created in a short time. Every ninja village's intelligence network is gradually formed after a long period of training, which is obviously not something Yi Lin can achieve overnight. That's why Yi Lin deliberately saved Wu Wei's life before, in order to try to see if he could use the Grass Ninja's intelligence network for his own use. At first, he was a little worried about Wu Wei's loyalty, so he used saving his son as a bargaining chip. According to Yi Lin's original idea, if Wugu didn't die, then he would rescue Wugu and use it as a bargaining chip to conquer Wugu. If Wugu died, then Yi Lin would naturally have no bargaining chip to control Wu Wei, so he would definitely kill Wu Wei without hesitation. However, as he extracted the puppet of Black Death Mo and discovered Wugu, who was about to die in the box of bliss, everything came naturally. He first used Black Death Mo's blood to bring Wugu back to life and turned it into a ghost, and then he used Wugu to turn Wu Wei into a ghost. And the father and son who became ghosts naturally don't need any doubts on the issue of loyalty. So naturally, Grass Ninja Village has actually become his territory. For Yi Lin, this situation is naturally perfect. The Wu Wei Wugu father and son, who took the blood of Black Death Mo and became a ghost, appeared in front of the stage, while he himself was hidden behind the scenes. Advertisement. With the help of the intelligence network that Grass Ninja Village has built over the years, as long as he can get appropriate information, he can directly dispatch puppets. In this way, the system and future direction of his development can be said to have been initially perfected. Just like Namikaze Minato this time, with the help of the Grass Ninja Village on the bright side as a cover and misleading, plus his understanding of the plot and key characters, Yi Lin is confident that he can fool the entire ninja world. Then, let's start the first big show in the ninja world. After waving lightly for Wu Wei father and son to leave, a subtle smile appeared on Yi Lin's mouth. Let me show you the reality of this ninja world. The next night, Namikaze Minato was straddling the trees of the forest. Blonde hair shimmers with an afterimage, and Namikaze Minato's body flicker technique is undoubtedly approaching the ultimate. This is also the reason why he still chooses to chase after knowing that the other party has left for 2 days. But while chasing, Namikaze Minato did not let down his guard. The information he got from Kusanagi was enough for him to recognize how dangerous the enemy was, so he naturally wouldn't relax at all. While he was on his way, boom, accompanied by the sound of explosions and loud thunder, the fire was extremely eye-catching in the dark night. Lightning style, Namikaze Minato's movement between the trees stopped suddenly, and stopped on a branch. Is that the guy who attacked Kusanagi? He also heard the loud thunder just now, and there is no doubt that there should be lightning-style ninjas fighting the enemy ahead. And from Namikaze Minato's point of view, there is no doubt that the opponent should be the guy named Enel, who attacked Kusanagi village. Who is he fighting? However, he was also very suspicious. Judging from the information obtained from Kusanagi village, Namikaze Minato is already enough to judge that the other party is undoubtedly at least a cage-level ninja. There are very few strong men in the ninja world who can attack alone and almost flatten the Grass Ninja Village. So, who is this kind of powerhouse fighting against to have such a situation? Advertisement. However, Namikaze Minato didn't have to think about the style of action, so he also jumped straight to the place where the battle took place. And the closer he got to the battle, the more doubts he had in his heart. Because as he got closer, an air gradually filled the air that Namikaze Minato could instinctively feel was ominous. So Namikaze Minato also stopped, and after using ninjutsu to hide his tracks a little, he quietly touched the center of the battle. In the battle center area, there were 2 people standing. Or rather, a boy and a monster. The boy holding the Japanese sword was very young, wearing a yellow haori. At this time, his body was soaked with blood, and ferocious sword marks could be seen everywhere, and his breathing had reached ultimate. There was fear and exhaustion about death in his eyes, but at the same time, he was extremely determined. Although he is young, he is a conscious ninja. Single quote. And this look undoubtedly made Namikaze Minato have a good impression on this extremely young boy. Especially when he saw the boy's opponent, Namikaze Minato's pupils shrank even more. There were 6 evil eyes on that face, and the whole body exuded an ominous bloody aura. In particular, the knife around his waist flows like a living creature's flesh and blood, and it looks extremely evil. This guy is definitely not human. With just one glance, Namikaze Minato was sure that this monster was definitely not human. While Namikaze Minato was thinking about it, the monster spoke up. The kid from the ghost killing team, who is not even a pillar, dares to come to me. The voice seemed to come from Senluo's hell, full of disdain and murderous intent, without any humanity at all. Ghost Squad. Column. Namikaze Minato was naturally stunned. Who? Grandpa told me that when you meet a man-eating ghost, you must not let it go. Especially a guy like you. One of the top strings, Black Death Mo, has survived for 500 years and devoured countless people. Chapter 16 Black Death Mo vs Namikaze Minato. New book for collection. When you encounter a man-eating ghost, don't let it go. The boy had obviously reached his limit, and even spoke with a bellows like panting. But his words remained firm. A foolish way of doing things. The conversation between the two also made Namikaze Minato extremely shocked. Just a few words of dialogue, he can know some basic information. The boy seemed to be from an organization called the Ghost Slayer. In contrast, the monster called Black Death Mo is the ghost that the ghost killing team is hunting. As for the pillar and winding string they mentioned, Namikaze Minato guessed that it should be a title that expresses strength. From their words, it seems that ghosts feed on people, and life is extremely long. So Namikaze Minato's heart became extremely heavy. Because he never thought that such a situation would exist in the dark part of the ninja world. A clan of ghosts that feed on humans, and an organization that fights ghosts. Every year, many ninjas go missing in the ninja world, and maybe many of them were attacked by ghosts. Especially when he thinks of the disappearance of some ninjas that often happens in the ninja world every year, Namikaze Minato has various thoughts in his heart. But it was when Namikaze Minato was shocked that both sides of the battle started. Breath of thunder. The boy's trembling hands held the knife in his hand, and the speed of his breathing became rich in an inexplicable rhythm. The sound of breathing was like thunder. One type of thunderbolt flash. The words fell, and a huge electric light suddenly erupted from the boy's body. Huge thunder sounded around, and arcs hit the surrounding ground from time to time. Sieve. And with the power of lightning, the boy's figure seemed to be torn apart by the air, rushing towards Death Mo at a speed as fast as lightning. The voice of lightning before, it was him. And Namikaze Minato realized at this moment that the thunder-like sound he heard before was not from Enel, but from this boy. Especially the strong wind and thunder and lightning brought by the boy's violent speed at this moment made Namikaze Minato extremely shocked. He can be sure that just this blow is absolutely enough to kill most of the Jonin. And considering his age, not inferior to Kakashi, or even a genius with higher talent. Namikaze Minato couldn't help but feel amazing. But then, he saw the ghost called Black Death Mo gently raise his hand. Rub. Advertisement. There was a sharp and harsh sound of the knife being drawn, and he slowly pulled out his knife from his waist. Only then did Namikaze Minato see that the blade not only flowed like a living human being, but also had eyes covered in it. And as the knife was pulled out, there was an indescribable sense of oppression on Dead Mo's body. Laugh. He just waved the knife lightly, and the huge force made the blade tear the air and make a sonic boom. The thunderbolt flash from the boy running forward with all his strength was easily blocked by this knife. Die, and become food, kid, that's your destiny. Death Mo raised his sword indifferently, and then slashed it down. But at this moment, Namikaze Minato finally couldn't take it anymore. Knowing that the Black Death Mo in front of him is a man-eating evil, coupled with his previous appreciation for the boy, naturally prevented him from watching. Sieve. A kunai cut through the air and flew directly towards Haishing Mo. Clang. Death Mo raised his sword and blocked Kuwu directly. Flying Thunder God second paragraph. But the next moment, Namikaze Minato's figure instantly appeared in the position where the flying kunai was. First, he kicked the boy out, and then he stabbed the Black Death Mu from top to bottom with Kuwu in his hand. But, clang. Namikaze Minato had a hard time imagining the sound of a kunai stabbing his body. And the next moment, he saw that the kunai in his hand actually hit an indestructible hard object and couldn't move forward half a point. At the same time, Black Death Mu's 6 eyes that do not contain any human emotion have also looked at Namikaze Minato, and he slashes with a sword. Namikaze Minato picked up the kunai resistance, and the two sides fought together immediately. Clang, clang, clang. Namikaze Minato's figure and Kuroshio Mu's figure kept flickering in the dark night, barely visible to the naked eye. But after just a few rounds, Namikaze Minato was already feeling the pressure. The power of this monster is too strong. Every time the demon blade and kunai collided, Namikaze Minato could feel the huge power coming from the other side of kunai. That power shocked Namikaze Minato. He's not a ninja of the bloody limit, but a real genius. His talent was personally recognized by one of Sanin, his teacher Jiraiya. Any genius would pale in comparison to Namikaze Minato. Advertisement. Combat skills, quick thinking, strong physical skills, and comprehensive ninjutsu, he has almost no flaws. But at this time, in the face of the infinite power that belongs to the ghost, Namikaze Minato felt unprecedented pressure. The opponent's swordsmanship is exquisite, as if it was formed by the accumulation of hundreds of years. The power of the opponent is so powerful that it does not belong to the category of human beings at all. And more importantly, he couldn't hurt the opponent at all. Even if his kunai slashed, he couldn't pierce the opponent's skin at all. Just in this brief confrontation, Namikaze Minato felt more pressure than any battle so far. Unconsciously, there have been many sword marks with blood on his body. Although none of them have hit the key parts, they seem to be extremely embarrassed. I can't continue to compete with him in physical skills like this. Namikaze Minato thought to himself, and took a chance to distance himself. Then, water-style water bomb technique. Lightning-style ground walk. After a set of standard thunder water style is matched, a huge amount of thunder and lightning collide with water bombs in the air, exuding powerful energy towards the Black Death. Fire style. But Namikaze Minato hasn't even had time to continue Yuin's next ninjutsu offensive. Blade of Blood Ghost Art. The Crimson Sword Light had already chopped the water polo full of lightning into countless pieces at the next moment. Namikaze Minato looked at it, and saw more than a dozen scarlet blades burst out of Heishimu's body in an instant, as if they were protruding bones. And after the evil spirit easily cracked Namikaze Minato's attack, the six eyes just looked at Namikaze Minato. It's not a ghost killer, but a ninja. However, it's all the same. The words fell, and Hei Death Mo slowly put the knife back into its sheath. It was also at the moment when the opponent put the knife back into its sheath, Namikaze Minato suddenly felt a sense of coldness. Danger. Instinctively feeling the horror of this blow, Namikaze Minato grabbed my wife Zenitsu with one hand. Flying Thunder God technique turn. At the same time, Black Death Mo drew his sword. Breath of the Moon, 8 types. Moon Dragon Tail. The blade is returned to its sheath, and the speed is so fast that it is almost impossible to see. And along with the blade, there are countless full moon-like sword lights. Chapter 17 opened the door to New World. New book for collection. Boom. Inside the forest, a full moon-like sword light raged past. In the area within the reach of the sword light, all the trees were cut down neatly by the waist. The huge destructive power startled the birds in the forest, making ominous calls. Quote. At this time, Namikaze Minato was watching the movement in the distance from a distance with a solemn expression. Every time he goes on a mission, he leaves a mark of Flying Thunder God somewhere. In order to be able to leave the battlefield in time when needed. So when he sensed the danger just now, he directly chose to temporarily leave the battlefield with the Flying Thunder God technique. And the reason is very simple, because the opponent's strength is really strong. If I consider the safety of my wife Shani, then choosing to leave the battlefield as soon as possible is undoubtedly the best choice. After all, just what the opponent is showing now makes Namikaze Minato unsure of defeating the opponent. One of the winding strings, Black Death Mo. Namikaze Minato whispered the name and took it to heart. But on the other hand, Black Death Mo, who was deeply missed by Namikaze Minato, stood in the middle of the battlefield. The 4th generation project, it's still almost meaningless now. At the same time, Yi Lin, who was controlling Black Death Mo, was also muttering in his heart. With the information given by Wu Wu before, he can naturally manipulate Black Death Mo to wait here for Namikaze Minato to arrive. And he is very much looking forward to this fight. After all, the enemies he encountered before, even the strongest Kusakai and Toshio, were nothing more than elite jonin. For the first time, control a puppet to fight a real cage-level powerhouse. However, the result of the battle undoubtedly surprised Yi Lin. According to Yi Lin's original idea, Black Death Mo and Namikaze Minato should both be S-level cage-level strengths. Fighting, it should be an evenly divided ending. But after the actual attempt, Yi Lin realized that he wanted to go wrong. The current Namikaze Minato has very obvious flaws. Advertisement. And this defect is also very simple to say, that is, blood. Namikaze Minato is a genius, yes, but after all, he is not a natural race like Uchiha or Senju, and there is no such thing as wood style or Sharingan. Of course, he is already very strong now. With the help of the teleportation of the Flying Thunder God technique and his basic cage-level ninja skills, which is solid to the ultimate, he is a cage-level ninja. But this kind of strength was just restrained by Yi Lin. Flying Thunder God technique is powerful, but after all, it is just a displacement ninjutsu. As a ghost, Black Death Mo, born with a powerful body and unique blood ghost art, are the nemesis of this kind of ninjutsu. How are you getting close? He couldn't even break the defense, and he had to be careful of the ghost blade of the blood ghost technique, and whether it was strength, physical strength, sword skills, as a ghost, Black Death Mo was far superior to Namikaze Minato. Not to mention that Yi Lin himself knows how to use the Flying Thunder God technique, while Namikaze Minato doesn't know anything about Black Death Mo. For these reasons, Namikaze Minato was completely suppressed by Black Death, and he even had to use Flying Thunder God to run directly in the end. However, it's the 4th generation after all. But Yi Lin also knows that Namikaze Minato's growth rate is definitely at the protagonist level. Don't look at his current strength, it seems that he is still too tender, but with the start of the 3rd battle, his strength is definitely one step a day. Learn celestial arts, develop a Rasengan, and even eventually become a Jinchuriki. The next time we meet, maybe we can let Black Death Mo let go of the fight. Yi Lin was also looking forward to it. In just this battle, his Black Death Mo proficiency jumped to 13%. That's higher than Enel's 9% and Byakuya Kuchiki's 7%. This is enough to show that the battle with such a strong person is extremely important for improving proficiency. But soon, Yi Lin didn't think too much about the issue of Black Death Mo. Because, fool people, of course you have to fool the whole set. Whispering in a low voice, Yi Lin also turned his attention to his other puppet. You're awake. Finding that the blonde boy he had rescued had woken up, Namikaze Minato looked at him. I remembered, you saved me. Advertisement. Yi Lin, who was controlling my wife Shani's puppet, showed a slightly puzzled expression, and then he seemed to suddenly realize something. Well, that's it. Namikaze Minato gave a sunny smile. Thank you. My wife Shani also expressed her gratitude after hearing the words. You're welcome. No matter what you say, you can't sit back and watch that monster kill you, right? Namikaze Minato shook his head. My name is Namikaze Minato, the ninja of Konaha. I call my wife Zenitsu, yes. When my wife Zenitsu said this, there was a pause in her words. If it's inconvenient to say, don't say it. Namikaze Minato also liked the boy in front of him who was firmly facing the monster, and laughed at this time. However, my wife Zenitsu seemed to have made up her mind after hearing this. No, Grandpa said to repay the favor. I call my wife Shani, a reserve member of the ghost-killing team. Ghost Squad. Although he had already guessed part of it from the previous conversation between Haishingmo and my wife Shani, when my wife Shani really said it, he couldn't help but move in his heart. Can you tell me the Ghost Slayer and what that monster is? And the curious Namikaze Minato did not hide his curiosity at all. He looked at my wife Zenitsu sincerely. Quote. After hearing his words, my wife Zenitsu seemed to hesitate again. But in fact, Yi Lin, who was controlling the puppet, was overjoyed. Laozi knew that when these two played, the fourth generation would have to be fooled by Laozi. But on the bright side, my wife Shani thought hesitantly for a while. After a long time, he finally nodded. That guy is a ghost of the ghost family. So, the door of a new world slowly opened in front of Namikaze Minato. Chapter 18 Namikaze Minato. Where is Jingling Court? Where is the Grand Line? New book for collection. Namikaze Minato, Konoha's most talented elite jonin. He became a cage-level ninja at a young age, and he was already used to seeing all kinds of situations. As a mature enough ninja, nothing should have moved him too much. But now, he was in extreme shock. The reason is also very simple, because what the young man in front of him, my wife Zenitsu, told him was too shocking. A ghost that feeds on humans and lurks in the world. Ghosts have a common master, that is, the mysterious king of ghosts, who is called Ellen. The previous Black Death Mo was one of the 12 strongest ghosts under the king of ghosts. The 12 ghosts are called the 12 ghost months. In addition, there is a ghost-killing team that hunts ghosts and has been fighting ghosts in the dark for thousands of years. The ghost-killing team is managed by the mysterious Lord. Only the strongest members of the ghost-killing team, the swordsmen called Pillars, are qualified to meet the Lord. Ghosts are almost immortal, their bodies are hard to destroy, but they are afraid of the sun. Only the Sun Sword, made of special ore, can kill ghosts. Speaking of which, my wife Zenitsu even handed Namikaze Minato the tachi in her hand. Namikaze Minato can also feel it, this knife exudes a strange warmth like the sun. So Namikaze Minato also returned the sword to my wife Zenitsu. You said before that you're just a reserve member of the ghost-killing team. Namikaze Minato said it a bit heavy here too. In his opinion, my wife Shani can have Jonin-level strength at this age, which is no less than his genius. But such a person is actually just a reserve member in the ghost-killing team. Especially according to my wife Zenitsu, every pillar in the ghost-killing team can compete with the ghosts in the 12 ghost months. Being able to compete with that monster, the ghost-killing team's pillars should at least be cage level. In addition to the master, who is in command of the ghost-killing team, the strength of this organization is probably not much worse than that of the 5 great ninja villages. Thinking of this, Namikaze Minato was also awe-inspiring. But my wife Zenitsu nodded at this time. Yes, I'm just a reserve team member. If you want to become a full-time team member, you must pass the demon-killing test of Fujikayama. Vine attacking the mountain. Namikaze Minato was a little puzzled. He had never heard the name of the mountain. Fuji Miyama is the place where the members of the Ghost Slayer team took the test. The specific situation. Mr. Minato, please forgive me for not being able to tell you. My wife Zenitsu also looked at Namikaze Minato apologetically here. Advertisement. Namikaze Minato nodded, but he already understood in his heart. There must be a reason why the ghost-killing team and the ghost clan have never been discovered by people in the ninja world for so many years. Single quote. He did not doubt the words of my wife, Zenitsu. It is not a direct emotional judgment, but because lies must have loopholes. But whether it was the internal structure of the ghost-killing team, or the grievances between the ghost-killing team and the ghost clan since ancient times, he couldn't hear any loopholes. Everything my wife Zenitsu said was all too true and interlocked with each other so completely. So Namikaze Minato can also judge that what the other party said should be the real thing. But whether it is a ghost or a ghost-killing team, almost no one in the ninja world knew its existence before. In particular, the Fujika's mountain mentioned by my wife Zenitsu just now, Namikaze Minato has never heard of it. The ghost-killing squad and the ghosts, and Fujitsuyama. It is very likely that it is a special place that is difficult to find. Like Mount Myoboku, a conjecture flashed through Namikaze Minato's mind. As a proud disciple of Jiraiya, he certainly knew of the existence of Mount Myoboku. He even signed a summoning contract with the toads of Mount Myoboku, and he will practice fairy magic in the future. So he also knows that there is a special place called the Three Immortal Lands in the ninja world. Mount Myoboku, Shibone Forest, Raichi Cave, these immortal lands hidden in unseen places are almost impossible to find, only their chosen inheritors can go. From Namikaze Minato's point of view, Fujikayama, the ghost-killing team and the ghost clan, are likely to exist in a similar way, even deeper than the three great immortal lands. No, not only that. Single quote. And Namikaze Minato himself is an active thinker. So after having this huge guess, his heart flashed even more. Senyi, have you heard of Goe 13 Feet and 7 Warlords of the Sea? He looked seriously at my wife, Zenitsu. Due to the existence of the ghost-killing team, he subconsciously thought of the original goal of his mission, to investigate the people who attacked Kusanagi village. But now in his opinion, Gote 13 and 7 Warlords of the Sea are also likely to be hidden organizations similar to the Three Immortal Lands. I'm coming. Yi Lin felt satisfied when he heard Namikaze Minato's question. The reason why he directed and acted in such a play was to spread the background of his puppet vests. Now that Namikaze Minato asks this question, it means that his play is half done. I seem to have heard from my grandfather. Advertisement. Controlling my wife Shanyi's puppet, Yi Lin started to fool around. Gote 13 seems to be a group of guys calling themselves Shinigami, guarding a place called Jingling. My wife Zenitsu frowned, as if trying to remember. I don't remember the 7 Warlords of the Sea very well, but Grandpa said they seemed to be pardoned criminals living in a place called the Grand Line. And after hearing these words, Namikaze Minato's heart shakes can be imagined. Gote 13, Shinigami, Jingling Ting, 7 Warlords of the Sea, Grand Line. The amount of information is too large, and Namikaze Minato alone can't figure out what's going on. Jingling sounds like the palace of an ancient kingdom. Grand Line, it sounds like it's in the sea. In particular, some of the vague content that my wife Shanyi said made him think more. Afterwards, he immediately realized the importance of these intelligences. These things my wife Zenitsu said may be the truth of the ninja world that the ninjas have never known. Therefore, he also looked at my wife Shanyi with a serious face. Shanyi, can you follow me back to Konaha? I believe Lord Hokage will be interested in visiting the other members of the Ghost Slayer team after learning about your situation. He thinks my wife, Zenitsu, can be trusted. Whether it is from the opponent's performance or his previous battle with Black Death Mo, there is no doubt. And now it seems that neither Gote 13 nor the 7 Warlords of the Sea, nor the Ghost Clan are obviously friendly. So Namikaze Minato is naturally unwilling to let go of the ghost-killing team, the only organization that seems to be friendly now. Mr. Minato, I have to go to Fujitsuyama to participate in the official assessment of the ghost-killing team. I'm afraid I can't go to Konaha with you. Yi Lin naturally would not agree to go to Konaha. But if I can become a full-time team member, I'll pass your words on to the columns. Namikaze Minato was also helpless after hearing what my wife Zenitsu said. Of course, he could also forcibly tie the other party to Konaha, but that was obviously not a good choice. So, Namikaze Minato could only smile and nod. 3 days later, after the injury, my wife Zenitsu had basically recovered, she said goodbye to Namikaze Minato and separated. And Namikaze Minato naturally has no plans to continue tracing Enel's whereabouts after these few days. With the huge information that shocked Sangwon, he chose to return to Konaha. Asterisk. Chapter 19 Discussion at the top of Konaha. New book for collection. Konaha, high-rise meeting room. The people who are in the conference room now are naturally famous people in Konaha. Either 3rd Hokage Sarutobi, the leader of the root organization Danzo. Udatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura, senior advisors to the 2 villages. As well as Konaha Sanin Jiraiya, Orochimaru and Tsunade, who had already become famous in the ninja world during the Second Ninja World War, all gathered in the meeting room. At this time, they looked at Namikaze Minato who was reporting the news, and their expressions were unprecedentedly solemn. Without him, the information that Namikaze Minato brought back was a bit too bizarre. Even 3rd Hokage, who sent Namikaze Minato to investigate this matter, didn't know what to say at this time. To be honest, if other ninjas in Konaha brought back such news, Sarutobi Hiizaki would only think that the other party was under illusion. But it was Namikaze Minato who brought the news back. In 3rd Hokage's mind, it has long been one of the ideal candidates to take over as Hokage. And the others at the scene were the same, they could trust Namikaze Minato's strength and loyalty to the village. It is precisely for this reason that even Jiraiya, who is usually the least serious, is rarely serious at this time. Gote 13 of Jingling, 7 Warlords of the Sea from the Grand Line. There is also the ghost-killing team of Fujiyama, and the race called ghosts that feed on people. Sarutobi Hiizaki muttered to himself, what a terrible piece of information. It was hard for him to imagine that if these organizations really existed, how superficial the so-called ninja world they had known before was. Minato, you said you fought that race called ghosts. Meanwhile, Orochimaru also chimed in. He and Jiraiya are good friends, and for Namikaze Minato, he is also a senior, of course, there is no need to be polite. Well, we've fought. Namikaze Minato was a little ashamed. The other party is called Black Death Mo. Advertisement. According to the boy I rescued, he is one of the 12 ghost moons under the command of my ghost king, Ellen, and his ranking is one of the top strings. He has the ability to grow a sword from his body, and besides. Namikaze Minato spoke about the characteristics of Black Death Mo that he knew, including the opponent's undead body, powerful strength and exquisite swordsmanship. And, he didn't hide the fact that he finally escaped. For the ninja, making sure the village has the right intelligence is the top priority, and he won't hide it. After hearing the strength of Hey Death Mo, everyone present became even more silent. They also checked the injuries on Namikaze Minato before, and then Sarutobi Hiizaki also sent Anbu to the location of the battle to investigate. So they know that what Namikaze Minato says is true. And this is the most terrifying point. Because Namikaze Minato is undoubtedly one of Konoha's top powerhouses, but in the opponent's hands, he still only ends up fleeing. 12 Ghost Moon. Is that Black Death Mu just one of the 12 strongest ghosts? Jiraiya sighed. Not 12, but 13. Orochimaru also interjected at this time. Don't forget, the existence called the King of Demons must also be strong. But if according to what Minato said, those ghosts are immortal monsters, then that Black Death Mo, who has lived for more than 500 years, has this kind of strength, isn't it normal? It is worth mentioning that when Orochimaru said the words, long body immortality, at this time, the brilliance in his eyes was extremely fiery. As if he really longed to see a ghost with his own eyes. 500 years. When they heard this number, everyone's heart became heavier. How many years have passed since the Sengoku era when ninjas were born? As for the establishment of Ninja Village, it has not even been 100 years. Advertisement. In other words, the existence of the ghost family is far older than they imagined. Even thinking a little further, the other party is likely to be a species that has existed since the era when the ninja world was not established. Not only the ghost clan, but also the ghost killing team that has fought against them for thousands of years. If the ghost clan is so strong, then the ghost killing team must also have the corresponding strength. Furthermore, even if the Gote 13 and 7 warlords of the sea are inferior to the ghosts, there shouldn't be too much difference. Tsunade said this, but also turned to Namikaze Minato. Minato, are you saying that you suspect Jingling, Grand Line and MT Fujisaki are all places similar to Mount Myoboku? She is the inheritor of the Shibone Forest, so she naturally knows the existence of the 3 immortal lands. Well, my guess is this. Otherwise, it would be impossible to explain their strength and why no one knew of their existence before. Namikaze Minato nodded. But this is just speculation, the specific situation cannot be determined. Having said that, the basic situation has been sorted out. Then, the scene was completely silent for a while. It's not that I don't want to say it, it's that I don't know how to say it. In particular, Third Hokage Sarutobi Hiizaki pinched the corner of his eyes. The development of things is too mystical. It was originally thought that it was just a hidden organization that was making trouble while the war was approaching, but now, inexplicably, 4 forces were involved. And from what we know now, Gote 13, the Ghost Killing Squad, the 7 warlords of the sea and the Ghost Clan are probably much older and more powerful forces than they thought. What's more, even now, Sarutobi Hiizaki still has 2 big questions in his heart. First, are these 4 known forces all hidden in the ninja world? In the shadows of the ninja world, are there more similar forces that maintain inheritance, but they don't know anything about it? Second, why did these forces that had never revealed their existence for so many years appear in the ninja world at the same time? Gote 13 took the body of 3rd Raikage, and 7 warlords of the sea sent someone to take a treasure of Kusanagi. What was their purpose? Chapter 20 The Third Ninja War begins. New book for collection. These forces, which had been hidden in the depths of the ninja world before, suddenly appeared in the ninja world recently. What is their purpose? This is a very important question, but the more deeply I think about Sarutobi Hiizaki, the more headache I feel. With the information he has now, these 2 questions are fundamentally unsolvable. But in any case, Sarutobi Hiizaki is almost certain, the other party will never die. And obviously, there is Jiraiya who shares the same opinion as him. They're sure to show up again, whether it's the Ghost Clan, Gote 13 or the 7 warlords of the sea. Ms. Sarutobi, let me investigate. Jiraiya took the initiative to speak, her expression extremely serious. Unlike others, Jiraiya was once prophesied by Mount Myoboku Great Toad Sage. In the prophecy, the ninja world will be destroyed within a few decades, and his disciples will be the sons of prophecy who will save the world. It is also for this reason that Jiraiya has been traveling in various ninja villages in recent years. At this time, after hearing the news brought back by his proud disciple Namikaze Minato, he also made an inference as it should. 9 out of 10 mysterious organizations that suddenly appeared were inseparable from the prophecy of the Great Toad Sage. Of course, if Yi Lin knew what Jiraiya was thinking at this time, he would definitely be extremely speechless. The people who want to destroy the ninja world are obviously the people from Madara and Kagaya. What does it have to do with him? But fortunately, Jiraiya's request was not approved by Sarutobi Hiizaki. No, we don't have time to scrutinize those guys. Sarutobi Hiizaki shook his head. Even if they reappear, it's not a matter of our Konaha ninja village. As he spoke, he also turned his head and said to Danzo, who had never spoken, "Danzo, you and Root are responsible for guarding against the situation of these organizations. If you find any trace of them, report it to me immediately." Advertisement. After hearing Third Hokage's order, Danzo also nodded slightly. But at this time, there was a strange look in the eyes of the first Konaha conspirator. "Teacher. Why?" Jiraiya was obviously still a little worried at this time, but Sarutobi Hiizaki just raised his hand and gently stopped him from continuing to speak. Later, the third Hokage also slowly picked up the scroll from the table and handed it to Jiraiya. "That's why I say, we don't have time to investigate carefully." Jiraiya took the information scroll, and after opening it, she just glanced at it, and her expression immediately became extremely ugly. Tsunade and Orochimaru also leaned over after seeing this, and then their expressions became a little serious at the same time. This information scroll was obviously just sent back, and the ink marks on it were still relatively new. On it, only a simple sentence was written. Cloud Shinobi Village 4th Raikage I, not long ago officially declared war on Rock Shinobi and Konaha, and dispatched troops from the Land of Thunder. Single quote. It's just such a simple sentence, but it is undoubtedly huge news. Because everyone here knows that the war has already begun. Sarutobi Hiizaki looked into the distance, and sighed softly. He seems to have seen the war swept through the entire Shinobi world, and all Shinobi villages, including Konaha, were burning in the flames of war. Under such circumstances, he knew that there were more than one powerful and ancient forces watching in the dark, but he had no choice. The machine of war has already started to operate, and it can't be stopped by relying on Konaha's ninja village. The only thing that gave Sarutobi Hiizaki a little comfort was that Konaha was the only one who knew a little about those organizations so far. And because Namikaze Minato saved my wife Zenitsu, Konaha has established a good relationship with the Ghost Slayer, anyway. Advertisement. Hope. No big mess. While Sarutobi Hiizaki whispered, everyone else fell silent. In the autumn of Konaha 47, Cloud Shinobi Village declared war on Rock Shinobi and Konaha at the same time due to the Third Raikage. The two sides each dispatched troops to start a war in the neighboring countries of the two countries, and as a result, many ninja villages such as Hana Ninja Village and Rain Shinobi Village had to participate in the war. Coupled with Sand Shinobi, who had been at war with Cloud Shinobi before, the four major Shinobi villages and countless small Shinobi villages are already at war. So everyone knows that the Third Ninja War is inevitable. But it was also at the time when the bloodshed in the ninja world was frequent, and Yi Lin himself was in the Grass Ninja Village. Of course, in the face of this kind of war that swept the entire ninja world, Kusanagi was inevitably involved. Almost all of the Kusanagi who survived the mission while Enel was attacked went to the battlefield this time. However, this was exactly what Yi Lin wanted. These ninjas who were originally grass ninjas were uncertain factors for him, and they died when they died. Even with the help of the grass ninjas on the battlefield, Yi Lin can master the battle situation in secret, and wait for his own time to attack. In fact, this time did not make him wait too long. Just 3 months after the Third Ninja World War. Grass Ninja Village, among the underground facilities. How is the situation? Wu Wei, who was kneeling and half kneeling in front of him, asked Yi Lin softly. And beside him, the Black Death Mu Jung stood beside him holding a sword. Very well, my lord. Wu Wei lowered his head and said, just yesterday, the Ghost of the Moon vacancy was successfully installed in Rock Shinobi, numbered 57 on the Moon vacancy. Asterisk. Chapter 21 The Ghost of the Moon Shortage, Target 1 Tale. New book for collection. Nice. After hearing Wu Wei's words, Yi Lin nodded. During this period of time, although he stayed in the Grass Ninja Village, he was naturally not idle. As I said before, he saw the Third Ninja War as an opportunity. So for this battle, he naturally made a lot of arrangements. One of the arrangements is to let Wu Wei take part of the Blood of Black Death Mo and develop potential members of the Ghost Clan in the war. This is not difficult. After all, immortal life, great power is a great temptation. Especially in a war where death can be seen everywhere, many people choose to drink that drop of blood. These developed ghosts came from various ninja villages, and naturally became part of the Yellen Information Network. And this batch of ghosts who staged the infernal affairs was named by Yi Lin as the Ghost of the Moon Quack. The development of this arrangement is quite smooth, and there are already many ghosts in Ninja Village. The second of Yi Lin's arrangements is to use the information network of these ghosts to capture the corpses of the strong in the war. And compared to the first arrangement, this plan is a lot less than he imagined. After all, the more powerful the ninja, the harder it is to die. And if ninjas of this level of elite Jonin die, most of their bodies will be taken away by the enemy or their own people. After all, ninjas of this level are likely to have the limit of blood. Therefore, although Yi Lin did collect a lot of corpses and extracted a lot of materials during this time, they were basically C to B grades, and there were not many A-grade materials. As for the corpse of the cage-level powerhouse he wanted most, there was none. However, Yi Lin was not in a hurry. As long as the plan goes well, the follow-up will be rewarded sooner or later. But just when Yi Lin thought that Wu Wei's report was here today, he heard Wu Wei's next words. But Lord Yi Lin, I just got some very important news. There's a big change over there at Sand Shinobi. After hearing Wu Wei's words, Yi Lin also raised his brows. Oh, Sand Shinobi? Of course, he is also very clear about the situation in the entire ninja world now? Aside from the shady things that Kirito has been doing, Konaha, Rock Shinobi and Cloud Shinobi have been fighting together. Among them, Cloud Shinobi, despite its strong military strength, should have been at a disadvantage with one enemy and two. But the point is, Rock Shinobi and Konaha don't trust each other. Especially when the two countries had a deep hatred in the Second Ninja World War, and they were very close to each other, the two sides were extremely afraid of each other. Therefore, regardless of Konaha or Rock Shinobi, while fighting against Cloud Shinobi, they send a lot of troops to guard against each other. Advertisement. So after coming and going, the three are deadlocked. As for the remaining two of the 5 great ninja villages, Mist Ninja has been secretly rubbing no words. The last Sand Shinobi, Yi Lin, has not heard any news. So now after hearing Wu Wei's words, Yi Lin is naturally very interested. Tell me the story. Reporting to my lord, this is what happened. Wu Wei kept talking, and quickly gave an overview of the situation. In short, something big happened to Sand Shinobi not long ago. It's also very simple to say. That is Luo Sha, who was temporarily acting as Case Cage, and finally took over the position of Case Cage and officially became Sand Shinobi's 4th Case Cage. However, this man's luck is obviously not very good. Because shortly after his succession, the Jinchuriki, blessing, of Sand Shinobi village died. This Jinchuriki has been a Jinchuriki since the 2nd Case Cage, until now he is very old and it is normal to die. In this case, the Sand Shinobi would naturally take the one tail out of his body and reseal it on the body of another Jinchuriki. Under normal circumstances, this kind of seal is not a problem. After all, due to Jinchuriki's near death, the tailed beast's strength will also decrease, and its resistance will also decrease. But unfortunately, this time there was a problem. Although I don't know the reason, the seal seems to have failed. One tail Shozaku ran away for no apparent reason, and Jinchuriki, who was originally prepared, died on the spot. After almost destroying half of the village, Shuhei was suppressed by Luo Sha and successfully sealed. But because of this incident, Sand Shinobi, who had just emerged from the chaos, became unstable again. Hearing this, Yi Lin also understood. This Sand Shinobi village is really miserable. Not long ago, his family Fengying mysteriously disappeared, causing his village to be attacked by Cloud Shinobi. After finally carrying it down, his own Jinchuriki died again. And the new Jinchuriki has not been successfully manufactured. The tailed beast went berserk and had to be temporarily sealed. With such a combination of punches, even if Luo Sha inherits the position of Fengying, Sand Shinobi's interior will definitely be extremely chaotic. After all, losing Jinchuriki is equivalent to losing a very deterrent weapon for Shinobu village. Yi Lin could even guess that the Fengying rights that Luo Sha had just acquired must have become unstable because of this incident. Advertisement. So in this case, Luo Sha made a decision. Yesterday, Sand Shinobi directly chose to declare war on Konaha. The reason for declaring war is simple. They think Konaha assassinated their 3rd Case Cage. That's what happened. Hearing this, Yi Lin also suddenly realized. He himself knows many plots of the 3rd Ninja World War. So he naturally knew that Sand Shinobi was the one who took the initiative to declare war on Konaha in the 3rd Ninja World War. He had been puzzled before, why Sand Shinobi would do this. After all, no matter how you look at it, Sand Shinobi can't be Konaha's opponent. After all, Konaha has been occupying the ninja village with the name of the strongest ninja village since the 1st Ninja World War. And what about Sand Shinobi? The strength has always been weak, and coupled with the recent war with Cloud Shinobi and the chaos within the family, the strength can be said to be extremely weak. But now, he finally understood the reason. Luo Sha, I didn't expect to be a powerful guy. What he admired was Luo Sha, the 4th Case Cage. After succeeding Case Cage, he directly waged war on Konaha. This seems to be almost an act of hitting a stone with an egg, but it is actually the fastest way to end the chaos in the chaotic village. In the face of war, no matter what the rest of Sand Shinobi's thoughts are, they will only unite and face the war wholeheartedly. And with the help of this period of buffering, Luo Sha can easily place his heart and soul all over the village, and completely secure the position of Fengying. Even if the war is lost in the end, Sand Shinobi suffers heavy losses, but it is obviously better than civil strife. The strong man broke his wrist, nothing more than that. It's a pity that this guy Luo Sha died at the hands of Orochimaru after more than 10 years. Otherwise, if he was a wind shadow for a few more years, Sand Shinobi would not be so miserable in the future. Yi Lin murmured in his heart, but soon his attention was diverted from here. Needless to say, Wu Wei already understood what Wu Wei meant by telling him the news. The rampant one tail was unsuccessfully sealed into Jinchuriki's body. At the same time, Luo Sha, who declared war on Konaha, is bound to go to the front. In other words, Sand Shinobi village is now a colander with gold. One tail. Where is it sealed? Chapter 22 Raid, the Temple of Daiming, new book for collection. A week later, in the country of wind, the sky is full of yellow sand. The rugged living environment has created the unique architectural style of Sand Shinobi village. Not long ago, due to the rampage of one-tail Shukaku, many buildings in San Shinobi village suffered huge damage and are currently being rebuilt. However, since 4th Kazekage Luo Sha has left the village with most of San Shinobi's elite ninjas, there are not many ninjas stationed in the village at this time. But it is worth mentioning that the most elite part of the ninjas stationed at this time is stationed in a temple not far north of San Shinobi village. Jingling Temple, an ancient temple built by 1st Kazekage to seal the one-tail Shukaku. However, since the 2nd Kazekage, Sramana, the show crane, which has been sealed in the temple since ancient times, has been sealed in the body of Jinchuriki as a weapon, so this temple has not been inhabited for a long time, until not long ago, Luo Sha sealed the runaway show crane into the temple again, among. At this time, the San Shinobi also set up a high sand wall outside the temple, which was only erected during the war, and patrolled vigilantly. Don't relax, and be vigilant each other, we must protect this place before the war is over. At this time, the most senior ninja who stayed behind San Shinobi, Elite Jonin, Hesha, was also shouting loudly. As the only elite Jonin left in the village, he is a very strict person. Lord Hesha, don't worry, we are all watching. At this time, the ninja standing on the sand wall in charge of observation also responded to Hesha with a smile. But when they were only halfway through their words, they suddenly stopped. Then, as if in disbelief, he glanced down the side glass again. Lord Hesha, there is someone? What? Hesha frowned after hearing the words, and then came directly to the sand wall. Then, he also saw the figure that appeared in the distance. He wears a headscarf, with thunder drums hanging from his back. The tall body slowly moved in the desert, coming from the wind and sand in the sky. That guy is. After seeing this iconic appearance, a message came to Hesha's mind almost instantly. Those were two mysterious organizations that had faintly appeared before the Third Ninja World War was completely fought. Gode 13, who took the corpse of the third Raikage from Rock Shinobi, and the 7 Warlords of the Sea, who nearly razed Kusanagi village to the ground. The news of the two organizations was initially judged as false news within the village. But with the opening of the Third Ninja War, the news from Rock Shinobi has not been confirmed, but the news of Kusanagi has been confirmed to be true. After all, the tragic state of Kusanagi village, which is still under reconstruction, cannot be faked. There is no doubt that the man who suddenly appeared in front of him is almost the same as the records in the news from Kusanagi village. One of the 7 Warlords of the Sea, Enel. While Shen Sheng said the opponent's name, Hesha also decisively shouted at the ninjas behind. Immediately notify the support in the village, and the others are ready to activate the enchantment. The situation in the Grass Ninja village has undoubtedly demonstrated the strength of the opponent, and Hesha will naturally not think that such a dangerous guy came to San Shinobi village for a walk. So after the words fell, he came to the main gate of Diamond Temple in an instant. On the edge of a talisman at the door, he formed an extremely complex forbearance seal, and then he slapped the talisman on the ground. Ninja Bishamontan formation. Advertisement as he injected a large amount of his chakra into the talisman, a faint golden light appeared from the ground. At the same time, in various places of the Ji-Ming Temple. Ninja Bishamontan formation. Ninja Bishamontan formation. The elite San Shinobi who stayed behind also formed similar ninja seals with Hesha at the same time, and performed ninjutsu at the talismans around the Ji-Ming Temple. As a result, countless golden rays of light gradually wrapped the entire Diamond Temple, and in the rays of light, the appearance of a King Ming was faintly revealed. Seeing the formation of the barrier, Hesha breathed a sigh of relief. Bishaman Ten's formation. A barrier technique that was set up by 1st Kazekage when they built this temple of Earth Sound, and requires dozens of elite ninjas to pay a lot of chakra to activate. This enchantment has extraordinary defensive power, and even a cage-level ninja cannot break it alone. However, this enchantment itself also has a problem, that is, the talisman must be buried in advance as the wedge of the enchantment. As long as one wedge is broken, the defense of the enchantment will be greatly reduced. And once the barrier is breached, therefore, all ninjas who cast the barrier will be severely injured. Therefore, this enchantment can only be used as a defense, and it is difficult to invest in a complex war. But when Hesha breathed a sigh of relief, he saw Enel, who was walking slowly, move. I saw Enel's hand slightly raised upwards, ZZ. Accompanied by a piercing electric chirping like a bird's chirping, a long spear formed of lightning suddenly condensed in his hand. Then, 10 million volts. The gun of thunder. The words fell, and the thunder gun was thrown. The thunder gun accelerated instantly as it was thrown, and flew towards the barrier with a blazing tail flame. Boom! With a huge roar, the shining thunder gun collided with the enchantment. It's very strong, but it can stop it. As the caster of the enchantment, Hesha instantly judged the result. The power of this lightning gun is definitely the ninjutsu of the cage-level powerhouse, but it can definitely be defended with the defensive power of the Bishamontan formation. It can be delayed until other people in the village hear the news, or send it back to Lord Fengying to come back. But when Hesha was secretly happy, buzz, however, he felt astonishingly that the link somewhere in the seal of the Bishaman Heaven formation suddenly broke. What? But he didn't even have time to react, because the next moment, the originally stable golden light of the Bishamontian formation dimmed. The illusory shadow of the originally majestic King Ming became scattered, and then suddenly collapsed. The roaring thunder gun pierced through the golden light and flew into it almost instantly. Do not. Advertisement. Hesha shouted frantically, but to no avail. Boom. Then, accompanied by a huge explosion, the formation of Bishamon's sky shattered. And the sand shinobi, who were already consuming the huge chakra to maintain the barrier, bleated from the corners of their mouths and passed out at this moment. Then, they were smashed to the ground by the huge explosion and shock wave caused by the thunder gun. In such an instant, the elite sand shinobi who stayed behind, were almost wiped out. Cough. Cough. Only Hesha was alone, although he was bleeding from the corner of his mouth and was extremely weak. But he still hasn't lost consciousness due to his role as elite Jonin's chakra reserves. Who? At this moment, the only thought in his mind was this. The previous situation had told him the truth. Among sand shinobi, a traitor appeared. And soon, the traitor appeared in front of him. Yes, is it you? Yuzo. It was a young man who suddenly appeared in front of him and didn't look amazing. And the moment he saw the other party, Hesha was also unbelievable. He recognizes the other person, Hazo, the authentic sand shinobi who grew up in the village. The opponent was brave in the recent war with Cloud Shinobi, performed extremely well in a battle and was badly wounded, and was almost judged dead by the village. Fortunately, Yuzo's injuries miraculously improved shortly after. It is precisely because of this military exploit that Yuzo was promoted to Special Jonin not long ago, and was able to participate in this mission to protect the Temple of Jiming. And Hesha naturally had no doubts about the other party. Whether it is background, identity or character, there is no doubt about everything. Hazo. Why? I just want to survive. As Yuzo spoke, he walked towards Hesha. While walking, Hesha also saw that his face began to undergo a very strange change. The original black eyes slowly turned into dark red vertical pupils like monsters, the teeth began to turn into fangs, and the fingernails became sharp like a beast. After seeing this apparently inhuman gesture, Hesha also shrank his pupils. You're not Yuzo. No, Lord Hesha. At the same time, Yuzang smiled. His smile was a little complicated. I am Yuzang. You can call me, Ghost Clan, Moon K 3rd. Asterisk. Chapter 23 The Backhand Left by Second Cage. New book for collection. Outside the Jiming Temple, Enel is standing with a ghost named Hazo. Well done. Looking at Yuzo in front of him, Yi Lin, who was controlling the Enel puppet, said softly. And there was some sigh in his heart at this time. No wonder those behind the scenes in movies and TV series like to stick nails around other people, which is really useful. Don't say anything else, just talk about this time. Although Sand Shinobi has shown signs of weakness and is empty inside, it is still one of the 5 major ninja villages. For example, this Bishamontian formation was originally extremely difficult for Yi Lin. The enchantment created by dozens of elite ninjas is at least as powerful as the 4 Red Yang formation. He might be able to get rid of them all using all of Enel's abilities, but he must also attract the attention of the Sand Shinobi village headquarters. But with the help of the Ghost of the Moon shortage that was buried in advance, he managed to break in almost effortlessly. The adults are rude. After hearing Enel's praise, Hazo lowered his head and said. And his expression is a little complicated. In fact, he was a truly loyal Sand Shinobi not so long ago. But after being wounded in the war with Cloud Shinobi, he felt a real fear in the face of death. The constant pain every day, the feeling of death coming and life gradually pulling away made him despair. So in the middle of the night one day, when Wu Wei appeared in front of him and gave him that drop of blood, he did not hesitate to betray his village and chose to become a ghost. It's just that when he really betrayed the village now, his heart is still a little complicated. But soon, Yuzo put this complexity aside. He also knew that he had no way out. He is no longer Sand Shinobi, but a member of the immortal Ghost Clan, under the command of the great Ghost King, Aran. Sir, please come with me. He didn't know Enel's identity, but he also kept in mind that his identity wasn't questioned too much. Yep. At the same time, Yi Lin's absolute control over ghosts through Black Death Mo puppet can also clearly sense the fluctuations in Yuzang's heart. Advertisement. However, he didn't pay too much attention to it, just nodded and manipulated the Enel puppet to follow Yuzo to the gate of the Temple of Earth Sound. Sir, one-tail Shukaku is sealed inside. However, Jiming no Ji Temple is a temple that has existed in the village since the Sengoku period. It is said that second cage Shramana-sama also set up some things in the old days. So please be careful when you go in. Hazo whispered what he knew to Enel. Yep. Enel nodded, then looked at Yuzang. I'll tell Black Death Mo when I go back, and ask him to give you extra blood. Go back, and yourself. Remember to clean up the traces and don't show your feet. Yes. Yuzo nodded, and then left the main entrance of Jimingzi Temple directly. And after Hazo left, Enel also looked at the Temple of Earth Sound. Then, he stepped inside. The temple itself is quaint and worthy of an ancient temple that has existed since the Sengoku period. In the center of the temple, there is a huge altar. On the altar, there is an equally huge dark yellow bowl. The bowl is engraved with extremely complex ninja patterns, which seem to be integrated with the surrounding altar. So Yi Lin naturally knew that this huge bowl was the prop used by First Cage to seal One Tail when the 5 great ninja villages were established. Similarly, Konaha's 9 tails were originally sealed in the fire altar. But even though his goal was right in front of him, Yi Lin did not relax. Because Yuzo had reminded him before that this temple should not be so simple. Second Cage's legacy, what will it be? Whispering in a low voice, Yi Lin's expression was a little weird. To be honest, he felt a little subtle in his heart at this time. Because he knows that second Cage, Sramana, is a very powerful character. This military-focused, known for his ruthlessness and talent, Kazuyo first tried to use one-tail Shukaku as a weapon, and studied the power of one tail to create Sand Shinobi's unique sand control technique. And what makes Yi Lin most interesting is that the second Cage Sramana is not only the person who has the most in-depth research on the one-tail Shuhei, but also the founder of this world's puppet art. Advertisement. In other words, he and Yi Lin are actually peers. Therefore, according to Yi Lin's guess, the backhand left by the other party will probably be related to the puppet. And if his guess is right, then, if this guy leaves a puppet, will the system determine any special reward? With such thoughts in mind, Yi Lin manipulated the Enel puppet to take a tentative step forward. And it is at the same time that this step is taken. Crack. I don't know what mechanism in the temple was touched, and countless sharp kunai came from almost all directions. Facing the puppets and traps that came, Enel didn't even move. I saw that kunai shot him in the body, and then actually penetrated the body directly into the ground. And the part of Enel that was shot through, turned into a little bit of lightning in the next moment and returned to its original state. Is that all? It seems that I think highly of him. Enel shook his head slightly, then raised his hand and grabbed the bowl with the one-tail Morizuru sealed. But just as his hand was about to touch the bowl, boom! A huge airburst and shock wave were caused by the huge chakra eruption. After a while, 2 figures slowly emerged from the altar in Yi Lin's surprised eyes. The figure on the left is tall and slender, with short brown hair, and is wearing a tight-fitting ninja that covers part of his chin. The figure on the right is sturdy, with 2 braids on the back of his head, and a tattoo of a dragon on his smooth forehead. Both of them have extremely sluggish eyes, and the entire body is obviously not human, and there are obvious movable joints in the limbs. There is no doubt that they are puppets created by Sand Shinobi's unique puppet art. Quote. At the same time seeing these 2 people, Yi Lin's expression was extremely surprised. After coming to this world, he tried to recall the contents of the original works he had read in his previous life almost every day. Therefore, although the 2 had almost no roles in the original work, he could still be sure at this time. The 2 puppets, the first Cage fight, and the second Cage Sramana. Chapter 24 Enel's Wind Shadow Puppet. New book for collection. Second Cage is such a ruthless brother. Looking at the 2 puppets in front of him, Yi Lin sighed from the bottom of his heart. He originally thought that the only one who made himself into a puppet was Sasori's 25th boy. But now it seems that such a ruthless person existed long before Sasori. However, the puppets of the 2 wind shadows. Who was the manipulator? However, Yi Lin also frowned a little later. Through the information given by Hazo, he already knew that Chio, the strongest puppet master among Sand Shinobi, had long since lived in seclusion. And other powerful puppet masters also rushed to the battlefield with Luo Sha. But controlling 2 cage-level puppets requires a lot of chakra, which makes people puzzled. After sensing through the heart network, Yi Lin also discovered the truth. Both of these puppets are indeed wrapped with the chakra thread unique to Sand Shinobi's puppet art. But these chakra lines are not from someone, but from the altar in front of them. To be precise, it was the bowl with the one-tail Morizuru sealed on the altar. So that's the case, is the altar that seals the tail beast as the source of energy to drive the puppet. Yi Lin immediately understood what Yuzo had said about second Cage left behind. This Cage has devoted his life to the research of one-tail Shukaku and puppet art, and it is clear that he has also achieved results. 9 times out of 10, the other party made a puppet together with first Cage's corpse and sealed it in the altar before he died. And the other party's idea should be to prepare for the current situation. If one day, the one-tail Sho crane will be resealed into this altar, then this means that Sand Shinobi has no Jinchuriki at this time, and must be in chaos or at a critical juncture. At this time, once someone other than Sand Shinobi tries to come here and snatch the tailed beast, then the 2 puppets will use the chakra of one tail to activate and kill the enemy. The shadow of Ninja Village really doesn't have any fuel-efficient lamps. Thinking of this, Yi Lin couldn't help but sigh. But it was during his sigh that the 2 puppets on the opposite side moved. Advertisement. Civ. The figure of first Cage vanished in an instant, and the huge force of both feet on the ground even stepped out of a huge pothole on the ground of the bluestone slab of the temple. The next moment, his figure appeared behind Enel, and after the irregular twist of his body, he punched Enel with a punch. And from the sound of his fist piercing the air, it is enough to imagine how powerful the opponent's punch is. Elementalization. At the same time, Enel's figure also turned into a lightning bolt. Boom. First Cage's fist pierced through Enel's body, but at the same time Enel's arm came out of the lightning and aimed at him. Discharge. Thunder fist. So first Cage's body was instantly swept away by Enel's lightning strike, smashing the walls of the monastery several layers. His figure flipped in the air for a few times and landed, and then he attacked Enel at an extremely high speed that could not be seen by the naked eye. This guy was a taijutsu ninja before his death. After seeing this scene, Yi Lin, who was controlling the Enel puppet, couldn't help but be amazed. He could be sure that first Kazekage Ryoto, who barely appeared in the original book, was definitely a great taijutsu ninja. Just that blow just now, in terms of strength and speed, was almost comparable to the Black Death of a ghost. If Yi Lin was not manipulating Enel, a puppet that was almost physically immune, Yi Lin would definitely find it quite difficult. And Yi Lin can be sure that the opponent did not use the lightning-style chakra mode ninjutsu like third Kazekage, but purely rely on his own body to fight. This kind of physical fitness is really pervert, as expected of a cage-level ninja of the same era as Senju Hashirama. This is still in a puppet state. This kind of martial arts guy must be much stronger when he is alive than when he is dead. So Yi Lin's eyes also lit up. Although the other party has been made into a puppet, it is still a corpse in essence. In other words, this kind of pervert's physique can probably be extracted as a puppet material. But just as Yi Lin's thoughts turned around, the figure of the first Kazekage puppet appeared beside Enel again. Advertisement. Only this time, he did not attack directly. Buzz. I saw that the spherical joints belonging to the puppets all over his body began to twist and fold, and then his whole body twisted strangely, hugging Enel tightly. Yep. Enel, who was hugged, instinctively blinked, and then saw that the puppet of second Kazekage on the other side raised his hand at the same time. So the next moment, the whole ground began to bulge. The floor of the Temple of Daiming was completely torn, and the endless yellow sand in the desert rose from the ground, like an earth dragon turning over. The huge yellow sand almost covered the sky and the sun, and it was directly pressing towards Enel. At the same time, Yi Lin also clearly felt a sense of crisis coming from the Enel puppet. Sand Shinobi's sand control technique, and is it still a sealing technique? Thinking of this, Yi Lin is also controlling the Enel puppet elementalization to break away from first Kazecage's entanglement. Sealing is one of Enel's biggest weaknesses right now, so naturally he can't hit it. Then, he tapped the thunder drum on his left shoulder lightly. 60 million volts. Thunder Beast. As the thunder drum beat, the blazing thunder burst out from Enel's body. Then, the huge thunder turned into a ferocious beast with protruding fangs, rushing towards the yellow sand that was oppressed from the sky. Boom. The sound of the explosion came, and the huge force almost destroyed the temple of Jingling and even the sand wall laid by the sand shinobi before, leaving only the altar in the center of the temple seems to be protected by some kind of force and has not been destroyed. And as countless yellow sands fell from the sky like raindrops, Enel's eyes were on the two puppets in the distance. Puppets, after all, are just dead things. And compared to my puppet, your weaknesses are still too obvious. The words fell, and Enel also stepped directly towards the two puppets. But this time, neither of the two puppets responded. And the reason is simple. Because the invisible chakra line that originally extended from the altar and maintained their movements, has been cut off before you know it. Chapter 25 One Tail Shuhei, I took it away. New book for collection. Walking in front of the two puppets, Yi Lin also sighed in his heart. In all fairness, these two puppets are just as strong as what they have shown. First Kazekage, a ninja who specializes in taijutsu, is responsible for close combat and can trap enemies. Second Kazekage, a ninja who is good at sand control techniques and sealing techniques, works almost perfectly with the first Kazekage puppet. Yi Lin has no doubt that these two Fengying were definitely strong during their lifetime. And even after death, the combination of their two puppets is enough to throw any cage-level powerhouse into a ferocious battle. After all, the puppet itself has no concept of injury and exhaustion at all. As long as there is energy supply, it can fight almost endlessly. But the point is, Sand Shinobi Village's puppet technique is good in every way, but has one huge flaw. That's the problem with the chakra line. Except for Sasori, who transformed himself into a puppet and retained his intelligence, all other puppets must use the chakra line or the spell that drives the chakra line in order to act. Of course, the chakra line itself is extremely difficult to spot. For most ninjas, this weakness is almost non-existent. However, Enel's network ability perfectly restrains this weakness. So just now, Yi Lin only controlled the Enel puppet to do two things from start to finish. First, use elementalization to evade the attacks of the two puppets. Second, capture where the chakra line is with the help of the heart net, and then cut it off with two small mine shots. Just these two simple things directly made this battle that should have been a fierce battle extremely easy. Then let me see. Although everything around was almost buried by the yellow sand due to the brief fight just now, Enel quickly found the location of the altar. Before arriving at the altar, he did not immediately go to get the bowl with the one-tail shukuru sealed. Because while approaching the altar, Yi Lin heard the sound of the system in his ears. Congratulations to host for discovering the special item, Ninja Technique, Puppet Machines. This item can be exchanged for 1000 points. That's what happened. Advertisement. After hearing the system's judgment, Yi Lin also glanced at the strange lines on the altar, and knew it at the moment. The puppets of first Kazekage and second Kazekage must have acted with the help of these ninja patterns carved on the altar. This ninja technique is a bit like a fully automated AI operation. This second Kazekage shaman is really a technical nerd. So Yi Lin sighed again, and admired Shaman, the figure master who created puppets from scratch, ahem, the ancestor of puppet art. Then, Yi Lin controlled the Enel puppet to reach out and directly pick up the bowl on the altar. But at the same time as picking up the bowl, Yi Lin felt an extremely manic roar in his mind. Let me, get out. The voice is manic and ferocious, like a beast that has lost its mind. Show he. Yi Lin sneered, and didn't have much affection for this extremely grumpy-tailed beast. But at the same time, Enel's heart network is also impressively sensed in all directions nearby, and chakra appears one after another. Anyone from Sand Shinobi. Obviously, this is Sand Shinobi's people who have noticed the abnormality of Jimingji Temple, and came to support from Sand Shinobi village. After knowing this situation, Yi Lin naturally stopped staying here. He just turned around and lifted the puppets of first case cage and second case cage, and then his figure slowly turned into a scattered thunder. So the Sand Shinobi, who finally came here from the village to support, only had time to see the last scene after they arrived. On the devastated ground, the Jiming Temple, which had stood in Sand Shinobi for hundreds of years, was buried under the yellow sand. Under the dilapidated sand wall, there are some figures buried in the yellow sand, and you can vaguely see the Sand Shinobi who were stationed here before. In the center of everything, the man who attacked this place is slowly turning into a scattered thunder. It's him, the one who attacked Kusanagi. After seeing the iconic thunder drum behind the opponent, a Sand Shinobi village Jonin who came here to support also immediately understood the opponent's identity. At the same time, he heard the other party's dull voice that seemed to have a hint of teasing in his ears. Then, thank you for coming. One tail, I took it. The words fell, and the thunder scattered. Advertisement. And the figure of the other party has disappeared from the place. Quote. So the Sand Shinobi who arrived fell silent for a while. After a while, Jonin, who was headed by him, gritted his teeth and let out a low, hoarse voice. Immediately, inform Lord Fengying of the matter. Yes. A few days later, a news spread throughout the ninja world. Even if the entire ninja world is at war, the speed of this news is still astonishingly fast. Without him, because the content of the news is indeed shocking enough. Sand Shinobi village, which had just declared war on Konaha, was attacked. Single quote. The attacker was Enel, a member of the mysterious organization, 7 Warlords of the Sea, that attacked Kusanagi village a few months ago. Single quote. He attacked the Jingling no Ji temple in Sand Shinobi, and it is said that only one of the ninjas stationed in the temple survived. Single quote. This attack, he took away the tailed beast of Sand Shinobi village, one tail Morizuru. Single quote. It is rude to say that this news is extremely shocking for the 5 great ninja villages. Because for any of the 5 major ninja villages, losing the tail beast is tantamount to losing the deterrent power in the ninja world. So this time Sand Shinobi's encounter almost made several major shinobi villages feel that they were under a huge threat at the same time. Especially after the start of the Third Ninja War, their Jinchuriki fought on the front lines almost without exception. After all, Jinchuriki itself is a powerful force in shinobi village, and when combined with the power of the tailed beast in the body, it is a killer on the battlefield. But now, knowing that someone is thinking about it, the major shinobi villages also feel that they are not so at ease in an instant. So for a while, the situation of the entire battlefield changed drastically. The Jinchuriki of the 3 ninja villages have significantly reduced their appearances on the battlefield. Not only that, but even some of the elite ninjas from various ninja villages gradually returned to their villages, as if they were afraid that their ninja villages would also be attacked. With the occurrence of these changes, the intensity of the entire war has also become flattened. Asterisk.